The views expressed on the previous programs are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not reflect those of the Beasley Broadcast Group, its staff, advertisers, or agencies.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Sports Radio 560, WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Rock solid.
Yeah, we sure are. Make no mistake about it. We're so rock solid that we got nothing going on now. What's going on? There we go.
I forgot the audition was. It was on. It just wasn't an audition for you.
Yeah.
Friday, you bastard.
Since everything and everyone at Disney World is out of the closet, so to speak, we now have special gay days. We've changed the rides to suit our lifestyle. Yo ho ho, be a swashbuckler on Butt Pirates of the Caribbean. And we've modified the Tunnel of Terror so you can ride with Mickey's.
And what kind of people generally are bigoted? Stupid people, like Tim Hardaway, for example.
I'm going to go with South Floridians.
And a lot of that in South Florida. You know, the word that comes to mind, and I've used this for years and years about South Florida, it's a parochial place. That's why when they call it a world-class city, I just pee in my pants laughing. There is nothing world-class about Miami. World-class hate and world-class crime and world-class bigotry, but there's nothing world-class. I mean, having been in all the cities I've been in and living in a place that's about as tolerant as any place I'll ever find in my life, knock on wood, thank goodness. It's just pathetic how many narrow-minded, stupid people. And like the guy, and I will say this: everybody and their brother just loved that show yesterday, man. When Joe Bell comes in and just pees all over my leg, I had to change my boxer shorts 4 times after he got out of there this morning. Am I right, Chris?
Oh, definitely. And you also had Duff starting the day, also like that.
Yeah, but you know, hey Duff.
You fair.
Yeah, Duff was in there tinkling all over the place, but that's not unusual for her. But anyway,
we have to thank Duff for having keys to George's room, also.
Oh, that's right. It's a damn good thing that Duff was in there because she's the one that got Chris in because George is out. He's not sick today, but his whole family's sick. So a deserved well day off for little Georgie, okay? And it's a good thing he did have the day off because he was going to come in and give me a lecture this morning about what a jerk I am. But I already know that.
Why, what'd you do?
No, nothing unusual. It's just my insecurities, my stupidity, and my just general being a jerk. And that's just the way I am, you know? And he just likes giving me a lecture, and he was going to do it again. And it's all for naught. Everything is wonderful, okay? My life is beautiful. You got it?
Well, I don't think you're a jerk. I think you have your insecurities, but I don't know about the jerk part. Okay.
What is your story, man? Chris was doing that yesterday, sucking up, and now what's your deal?
No, I was
I'm not
sucking up 2 days
up.
ago. Or 3 days ago,
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Now, what did you just say? Say it again, so that I'm sure I actually heard what I thought. Maybe
I
I'm
said I don't
from
think
the
you're a
compliment.
jerk. I think you have your insecurities. You might be on the right track to that, but
Yeah.
I know you're buying me a new Flavor Wave oven, so
Oh, I see.
you're not
It
a
isn't
jerk
there-
to me,
it isn't
buddy.
there yet. Well, I can't stop the delivery, so you don't have to kiss my ass, okay? There's nothing I can do to stop it. No, I just have had, as you know, I've had a couple of months, a little bit of a rocky road on the internet there, to say the best, starting with all the Jacob stuff. Then, of course, I take that out on other people who are like, 1,000 times the person that one would ever be. And I just get, and it's not right. It's wrong. So I apologize to all concerned. I'm just occasionally a jerk. But they know that, and they're, tolerant, as opposed to a lot of you who are intolerant. So anyway, the call this morning on Kenny and Bo Morning Show, I'm sitting here and I'm assuming George is sick. And there are a lot of things I assume, and generally when I assume something, it's absolutely correct, sir. And I assumed he was going to be calling in sick, because if he's not there by 8:30, 8:35, he ain't going to be there. And then Chris, of course, was having a little more technical difficulty. He left the the program on in the back, and I'm saying, hey, is anybody there? What's going on? It was a little bit. But
well,
not that he didn't do a wonderful job,
I'm used to
Chris.
George turning it off, so I didn't even worry about it in the morning.
Yeah. So you took it for granted that he wasn't there, so automatically it turned itself off. That's okay. I'm not giving you a hard time. You guys do a wonderful job. Everybody's kissy-kissy this morning. I'm in a spectacular mood. My life is sweet, complete. Nothing could be better, except listening to the Kenny and Bo Morning Show. And I don't know what's being said on the other sports shows, and I don't want to rehash the whole show from yesterday, but there's a lot more fallout and a lot more to be said. And the caller calls in Kenny and Bo, and he says, oh, well, I took my kids to Disney World last summer, and there were guys holding hands, and one guy with his arm around another guy, and I really was uncomfortable, and nobody warned us about it. And I'm telling you, I just wanted to scream. I just wanted to go to the window and open it up like Howard Beale and just scream out the window.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
When are you people going to grow up and stop being so parochial? saw two guys holding hands. You know, I can't think of any city, including Rome, and I'm sure the Pope isn't too happy about it, but I can't think of any city of any size in the world that I've traveled to where you won't see guys holding hands. And, of course, in Italy, like I told you before, and it's got nothing to do with sex or anything like that, but the guys, even the young guys, you know, friends, buddies, they see each other, maybe they haven't seen each other in a day or two or whatever, and they see each other, and they go up and kiss each other on both cheeks.
Yeah, different culture.
That's a cultural thing, that's right. But and, of course, if they would have seen guys kissing each other on both cheeks, rectum, no, not those cheeks, but kissing each other on the face, immediately, oh, my God, my kids, what's going to happen to my kids? Let me tell you again about Amsterdam. One of the many things that I find amazing. It's a frustrating city because they're living in the past in so many ways. It's archaic, and if you want to live there, it's very difficult. I told you about, and this goes back to the thing with soap and body wash. If I'd have been using body wash, I wouldn't have had to worry about getting a soap dish. That's true. But when I had the apartment there, I had to go to like 6 places before I could find a damn soap dish because everything is so backward and so archaic. But by the same token, they have, you know, in the red light district, there are all these sex shops, Chiquita's Sexy Shop, and all these other places. They've got all these big dildos in the windows and all this sexual-oriented stuff. And to make a long story short, you'll always see groups of, like school kids. They take tours of the thing. Little kids. I'm talking about like 5, 6, 7 years old.
School kids take tours of the red light district?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And they're looking, and the teacher is explaining, bada beep, bada boop, bada bop, and nobody is like tittering, ah, ha, ha, ha. And, of course, then when you see the tourists, especially from America, and they're like walking by, and I'm talking about adults, not teenagers, I'm talking about adults, people in their 40s, 50s, old cockers like me, and they're looking at this stuff and like, ah, ha, ha, ha. Oh, my God, look at that thing, wow, That's the difference. America, you know, I talk about the British being constipated, which they absolutely are. And, of course, keep in mind who the people who settled in America and who the ancestors of you folks are for the most part. But it's just pathetic to me how parochial South Florida is. I mean, how unusual it would be to go to New York. And I'm not just talking about in the Village, but just anywhere in New York City or like in Chicago to see two guys holding hands, or here in Toronto. How could you go on Church Street or Yonge Street here and not see two guys maybe with their arm around each other? And what the hell does it mean, okay? Are they going to have sex out there in Disney World riding on the ride? Are they riding on it? What are you people thinking about? He was offended by it. I'm offended by you, sir. I'm offended by your ignorance, and I feel sorry for your kids. What was going to happen to your kids if they saw two guys holding hands?
Well, they'd have to ask him, and he'd have to explain it.
And what would he have to say? That they're friends?
Look the other way, son.
Yeah, look the other way. They're
queer. They're furries.
They're whatever. Yeah, like that. You know, this business about, there's so much hate in the world. I don't want to start getting, well, yes, I do. I'm going to go off on my tangent here. There's so much hate and hostility in the world, and the fact that there are people who care about each other, who like each other, who maybe love each other, and yeah, maybe they're having sex, maybe they're not. Who knows what they're doing, which is nobody's business if they're consenting adults. What the hell could possibly be wrong with that? Why is that offensive to people? And I got news for you. Here in this city, man, you don't. That's one of the things I respect tremendously about these people. You don't dare. I mean, Tim Hardaway, he'd have been run out of this town on a rail. I mean, he's got a right to say what he wants, but they wouldn't put up with it for a minute here.
They would have crucified old Timmy?
They would have nailed his ass right to the CN Tower. He'd be hanging from there right now. He'd be doing a tower power hang. He'd be doing the old Sodom routine. You have a right to be as bigoted as you want. I don't care what anybody says. You have a right to say any stupid thing you want. And I agree with that business yesterday about the whole political correct garbage. It's nonsense. But if you're going to open up a big mouth and express bigotry against a whole class or group of people, then you're going to get a real backlash. And he already has. He already lost one of his sponsors. The car wash down there is being picketed this morning. There are people really pissed off and fired up, and rightfully so, okay? And I'm going to say it again. If he would have been a white ex-athlete, and he would have come on any radio show or anywhere in the media and said, I hate black people. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to take showers with them. I don't want to be near them. I don't like black people. Just like Mike Richards, the same thing. And that's not what Mike Richards said, but nevertheless, if an ex-athlete would have said that, they would have been crucified. And there wouldn't be anybody defending what they said. But, of course, now we got all these homophobes out there pretending that they're not. And I see in a lot of these blogs this morning, the word homophobic is fear of gay people, not hatred. And you're using the word wrong. What the hell difference does it make? You want to play semantics with it? What difference does it make? It's the same pile of crap. And, of course, it is fear, because when you're dealing with stupid people, they fear what they don't understand. Now, isn't it interesting? I guarantee you, I bet your life on it that Tim Hardaway took showers with naked with gay players during his career. I guarantee you, I bet your life on it 10 times.
Of course he did.
Well, there you go. And did he get raped in the shower in the locker room? Did he get attacked? Did he get molested? Was he being cruised in the locker room because somebody was gay? This is the attribution. This is America's general idea, or at least a big percentage of what gay people are. And, of course, how many straight people, how many of you heterosexual people out there are in love with everybody you have sex with? How many guys are going to the singles bars, and how many guys are going online to find some hot chick that they can, get a hot night in bed out of? And I don't condemn that. What's wrong with that? Have a great time, man. Enjoy life. That's what I always say. But all you perverted homosexuals, that's all you know is sex, and you're doing all these grotesque things, and God didn't create Adam and Steve. He created Adam and... Oh, my God, I hear this stuff. It's so stupid and so ignorant it makes me want to vomit. And then when I hear the responses to it, like my colleagues this morning, I use the term colleagues loosely, my sports nerd colleagues, it just makes me nauseous. He took his kids to... First of all, I'm told that if anybody is offended by anything that goes on there, that they get a refund and they get tickets for another day or whatever.
Well, he might have planned it then.
Might have planned what? Getting a refund?
Yeah. Let's say we saw two people holding hands. We'll have another day at the park, son.
They saw guys holding hands. You know something? I don't think the world can continue spinning around. I think the globe is going to come to a standstill. I think it's old Sodomy and Gomorrah all over again is what it is. There were two guys holding hands. I can't recall, because you'll often see heterosexual couples, young couples in public getting a little bit carried away, like maybe in a shopping mall, and it doesn't bother me, especially if the guy is cute. Really? Yeah.
Well, maybe you should start complaining.
Yeah, and I'm going to start complaining about all you overt heterosexuals flaunting your heterosexuality in public. Just so stupid, man. And that guy, I hope you're listening now, you jackass, although probably you wouldn't be listening now because the old host is on, You're an idiot. Anyway, 10:13 at 560 WQAM. Don't get worked up. You'll lose your voice again. Then Josh and Chris will have to do the show. No George today. No Jorge. He's home pretending to be sick. He's home nursing a sick family.
Neil. And now, fresh from rehab, Miss USA Tara Conner talks about her battles with drugs and drinking, about her recovery on Larry King Live.
What are your duties as Miss USA? What are you supposed to do?
Fill my void with drugs and alcohol.
Really?
I think so.
Cocaine?
Exactly.
Does it lead you to wilder things, sexual things?
Whatever.
Let's watch.
I don't think so. I'm very insecure. I'm very insufficient.
What was the worst thing about rehab?
I didn't get to use my phone.
Do you ever desire alcohol?
Oh, well, maybe I can just have one more. One more's not going to hurt.
Now, we'll be right back on Larry King Live. Don't go away.
I'm okay.
10:18. There's another real credit to the human race. And who the hell cares about her because she's hot? Am I right? Who cares?
I care about her.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because she's hot. If she was a nasty-looking slut, you'd be saying, what a slut, what a,
You are correct, sir.
I beg your pardon?
I said you are correct.
Now, what did you say? I'm not a jerk?
No, you're not a jerk.
Well, I have my jerky moments, and I apologize for that. I'm an idiot at times, and I'm a fool, and, an old, sentimental fool. But I'm in good shape today. I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear that. In spite of that phone call I heard this morning, I'm not real happy with the results of this poll so far, I'll tell you that. Let's take a look at yesterday's poll first. This one really...
Have we run out of ideas for the poll?
I beg your pardon?
Have we run out of ideas?
Are you knocking the fact that I'm doing this one again?
Maybe. Well,
First he starts kissing my ass and says I'm not a jerk.
No,
kissy, because I'm sending him that new flavor wave and spent $100 on him.
I'm not knocking anything. I'm asking you, this is a,
No, it's a repeat because George and I decided, we had a little powwow on the air. We decided that we hadn't done this in a very long time, and I'm wondering if there's anybody still... It's like people who are still watching black and white TV.
Does Chris use body wash?
Chris uses body wash, and he's been using it for years, okay? He's a manly man, and he uses body wash.
See, I had to get turned by you, if you will. Because remember, when I started,
I turned you all right.
I was using the bar.
Yeah, and dropping it a lot is what I'm hearing.
No, not so much.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's get to yesterday's poll. Were I to change my religion or lack of one, I'd prefer to become... We had 1,417 votes, but the bad news is they hated it. I hate this poll. 25%, 355. I don't think we ever did a poll where 25% hated the poll. At least I never have. Maybe George has. An atheist, 235. A Buddhist, 214. They want to rub that bald spot. You can rub mine a little bit. An agnostic, 198. A Jew, 83. a Wiccan 76, a Zion Coptic 59, a Devil Worshipper 56, a Catholic 51, a Protestant 35, a Scientologist 18,
You fairy.
a Mormon 16, a Hindu 12, a Shiite Muslim 7, and a Sunni Muslim 2. You know, when you stop and think about that, who really knows what that's all about, you know, that whole raghead business? I mean, it's all a bunch of garbage, but who knows what that's to differentiate between the Sunnis and the Shiites. It's just, well, they're differentiating really well. It's a bloodbath. Okay, let's look at that poll today, and like I said, I'm dismayed at this. I was dismayed when I heard that phone call this morning on Kenny and Bo again, because it seems to be an ongoing theme. And, of course, you know, like some people have said, maybe the fact that stupid Tim Hardaway opened up a big mouth. In fact, John Amaechi said he's delighted. I'll get to that eventually. I got a whole pile of good stuff. He's delighted that he brought it up because it points out very well, as one of our astute contributors yesterday pointed out, it points out very well that, gay athletes can't come out of the closet because they live in this environment of hostility and stupidity and ignorance and bigotry, etc. But we'll get to that.
Right.
Which do you bathe with? That's our poll today, and even Josh Cordes ain't too happy about it, although, look, only 2.9% hate this poll. It's important. We're trying to educate the audience out there, bring them into the 21st century in South Florida, where most of the people are living like in the Stone Age. Which do you bathe with? Male uses soap, 425. Male with body wash, 281. That's, you know what that is? I'm going to tell you right now. Acceptable is what it is. It's ridiculous. I mean, 51% using soap and 34% using body wash. Oh, real men don't use body wash. That's pansy stuff. Yeah, right. That's why Adidas and all the macho sports-oriented makers, they make body wash for men. It says right on there, for men, for real men. Like the one on the spot I'm watching right now for sandals.com. Wow. Anyway, male uses soap, 425. Body wash, 281. I seldom bathe, 46. Oh, that was a good choice. I put that on there because I knew that would get a good response. 5.5% of the audience seldom bathe. Female uses body wash, 30. I hate this poll, 25, and a female using soap, only 20. Now, of course, you know what they're going to say. Well, there's more. And, of course, look what the small reason, only 6% of the audience, at least on the poll, female. We don't have any ladies. How are you doing with the ladies? We're not doing well with the ladies. Josh is doing well with the ladies. How's your girlfriend doing?
Not too bad.
Good. Still drinking a lot of vodka? Keep her boozed up all the time? Good.
Duh.
Good thinking. So 30 women with a body wash and 20 with soap, and on the male side, 425 with soap. And listen, it's a free country. Do whatever you want. If you want to, like I said, live in the Stone Age. If you like seeing the hair on the soap, if it gives you like some kind of an erotic twinge or something, more power to you. If you like the scum on the soap that's been sitting on that little ledge there in the soap dish or whatever, if you like that, it makes you feel good smearing that all over yourself, well, hey, more power to you. Me, myself, I mean, I wouldn't go back to using soap if you paid me. If you paid me $100 a shower, and I shower usually, always at least once, usually twice a day. I mean, there isn't enough money in the world to get me back to soap. Oh, my God. What do you... Like I said, it's like watching color TV. But you people do whatever the hell you want.
Somebody wants to pay me, I'll go back to soap, by the way.
Yeah, you'll listen, if somebody wants to pay you for anything, you'll do it. I don't even want to elaborate on that.
I'll do soap for $100, too.
Will you? Well, look at the money, you guys. Of course, now that Josh says that, now that he's abandoned us and making the big bucks on the QAM website, Josh.
Yeah, I'm rich.
Yeah. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me at all if this is the year that you're going to buy George that big screen TV and buy him a nice round-trip ticket to Amsterdam, all that stuff. 847 votes on the poll, and just, in fact, it looks to me like it's worse than it was the last time we did that poll. I don't know when the last time we done it was. It's got to be months or maybe a year ago, but it looks like they're going back to the soap. They like the bar, like you said. They like the bar. In fact, I think most of these people have been spending too much time at the bar. An Italian judge today indicted 26 Americans and 5 Italians in the first criminal trial over the CIA's extraordinary rendition program. The judge set the trial date for the 8th of June. Prosecutors allege that 5 Italian intelligence officials worked with the Americans, almost all of them CIA agents, to abduct terror suspects Osama Mustafa Hassan Nasser, too many names, from a Milan street, February 17, 2003, in Milano. If you're going to go to Italy, by the way, don't waste your time going to Milano, unless you got a lot of time and a lot of money. I mean, it's okay.
I'll write that down.
Well, it's like not industrial. It's like, everybody says like New York. I mean, nothing is like New York, but it just doesn't have the kind of architecture like in Rome or Firenze or, beautiful places. Milan is kind of cold, if you know what I mean. And the food, fè, in northern Italy, fè. They use like a lot of that risotto, the rice. Man, I hate that. You ever have risotto?
No.
Don't. Nasser was allegedly transferred by vehicle to the Aviano Air Force Base near Venice and then by air to the Ramstein Air Base in Germany onto Egypt, where critics say he was tortured. Ramstein, I just love saying that.
They're a band.
What?
Rammstein.
They are?
Yeah, they're even popular in America.
Well, good for them. All but one of the American suspects have been identified as CIA agents, including the former station chiefs in Rome and Milano. The other is a U.S. Air Force officer stationed at the time at Aviano. Even if a request is made for Americans' extradition, a move bound to irritate U.S.-Italian relations, it was unlikely the CIA agents would be turned over for trial abroad. The CIA has refused to comment on the case, while a former Italian chief of military intelligence insists that Italian intelligence had no role. I'm just not real happy about that body wash thing. I'm shocked. You could knock me over with a feather. And that's the feather I could put in my cap, I guess, or in my... Rectum. Somewhere. Wow. Oh, yeah, there were two guys holding hands. Do you know how stupid that is? Seriously, if you went out to the parking lot...
Right.
And there were two guys, I mean, you know, who knows, and I'm not talking about working in the building there, but just two guys walking down 441 there holding hands. Would that shock you? Would that offend you? Would you oh, my God, would you have a nervous dump?
No, I just wouldn't look. I mean, whatever. It makes no difference to me.
What do you mean you wouldn't look?
Meaning, I'm not going to zone in ooh, two guys holding hands.
Right.
Zoom in. Whatever.
Now, what about two guys holding glands? Oh, I'm sorry. 26 past 10 at 560 WQAM.
Friday, you bastard.
Welcome to the final segment of the final installment of the Al Franken Farewell Show finale. I'd like to thank all the interns and underpaid staff who were so eager to please me. Most of all, I'd like to thank the Air America intern who put my Grateful Dead ramp on an old cartridge tape that Peter Tripp left here when it was WMGM. Can we hear that one last time? There it is. Yes. You know, that added so much more body and flavor to my show. But I thank you for that. As you know, I'm leaving to pontificate upon a run for political orifice. Not that I believe my own press, you understand, but just in case. Tom Davis joins me from across my phone. Hi, Tom.
What, Al?
And now look at it. If I decide not to run for senator of the universe, what do you say we form a comedy team again?
Al, I wish you luck with your run for office.
I thought of asking Mort Saul, but he's much too close to death.
He turned you down, huh?
John, yes. So am I to take it that you
Can I hang up now?
That Tom, he's such a card. Yes. As the Grateful Dead once said, what a long, strange sojourn it has been. So let me exit stage left by simply saying, thanks for the memories. I'm gonna go away. That is, of course, to say, should I actually run for office? If not, I can always try my hand at a job at radio. And that's relevant.
Yeah, he's leaving radio as if it makes a difference and going to run for a senator from Minnesota. Does anybody care? No. Any interest in Al Franken? But we got 24 dropouts already. We've only been on a half an hour. 24 dropouts on the public, the general public, come and subsidize your business and patronize you. Probably not a good idea to be exclusionary and say, oh, I hate those damn Cubans, or I hate those damn white people, or I hate the Jews. Yeah, not a good idea, probably. But then again, ignorance is bliss. That's what you're dealing with, is like that. More than 4 years after she was accused of neglecting her duties during a botched primary, the Florida Elections Commission this morning dropped all charges and potential fines against former Broward election supervisor Miriam Elephant. How do you like that?
Oh, my God.
This is the last hearing. It's over, said Henry Hunter, one of Oliphant's lawyers. It's real important for the people of Broward County to see she was exonerated. Is it important to you? It's not important to me.
No.
In fact, it's rather depressing when you come right down to it. She lost her job because of problems with the 2002 primary when 23 polls failed to open by 7 a.m. and 32 polls failed to heed an executive order from the governor's office to stay open past 7 p.m. so voters could cast a ballot in the problem-plagued election. She was removed from her post by then fat-ass Governor Jeb Bush in 2003. She failed in a bid to re-win her job during a 2004 primary against Brenda Snipes, whom Bush named to replace her. In May 2005, the Florida Senate officially stripped her of her title, upholding Bush's decision to suspend her without pay. The Election Commission at first tried to slap Elephant with a $55,000 fine, then reduced it to $10,000, insisting she was willfully and intelligently neglectful of her duties during the primary. But throughout her ordeal, she insisted she did not intentionally neglect her job. Maybe she's just incompetent is the word we're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Non-compos venus. Her argument was bolstered by a state administrative law judge who in September ruled a state had failed to prove its case. His decision was based on an appeals court ruling in a separate case where the Elections Commission was told it can't find election officials for simply neglecting their duties, but must show they intentionally set out to violate the laws or disregard them. Like Ken Blackwell in Ohio, for example, who fixed the election for Bush. Those kinds of things. So Miriam Elephant, she's off the hook for old time's sake, unlike Tessio, who couldn't get off the hook for old time's sake. Can't do it, Sally. Which do you bathe with? 877 votes. Male soap, 446. Male body wash, $2.99. 51% to 34%. It's not even close. Not even close. The soap crowd, man.
Sad.
Now, let me ask you this. We'll have to find, we don't have anybody that's worked, that's played, that recently in sports. Because Mad Dog's, 100 years old, and who else we got?
We ain't got Troy the boy anymore.
No, we don't got no Troy the boy. But I'm curious, in the locker rooms, what do the athletes use? You think they're using soap or body wash?
I believe
call up Timmy
Jason
Hardaway.
Taylor has said he uses the body wash, but he's a
but he's got a calendar, Jason Taylor, I mean, he's a very hetero guy, but he's like kind of a girly guy,
Yeah, he's doing those Neutrogena spots, so he has to say that.
He's doing Neutrogena spots?
Oh, yeah.
I think 2 seasons ago, like at the end of the year or the middle of the year or something like that, Neutrogena gave out every player in his locker room one of the little baskets that they give away.
Yeah, it's pretty gay.
A tisket, a tasket. He wants to see your basket? Is that what you're telling me? Don't tell me that Jason Taylor is going to turn out to be another Troy Vincent. I mean, whatever. 882 votes on the poll. No, I'm sorry. It isn't Troy Vincent I'm thinking of. It's some other defensive back that somebody told me years ago on the Dolphins. Not that many years, but not Troy. Sorry, Troy. Which do you bathe with? Men, 448. Soap. Body wash, 301. I seldom bathe, 52. Well, isn't that lovely? Those must be the people I encounter at Woodbine. Oh, my God. It's... Now, what about your girlfriend? I don't want to get too personal on the air, Josh, but she's Russian, obviously.
Right.
And I'm sure that her hygiene is sensational.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's good. I'm very happy for it, because otherwise you'd have dumped her ass a long time ago, I'm sure.
Right. Would have just been one fun night, and I wouldn't want the smell again.
You just put your, held your nose like that. People that smell bad, and this is my motto, one of my many mottos in life. If you can't look good, smell good. And believe me, I don't look good.
Now, do you get a lot of funky Russians at Woodbine?
Yes.
Really?
As a matter of fact. In fact, I probably shouldn't say this because it's going to sound like I'm being a Tim Hardaway, but and I don't have anything. I don't categorize people. In other words, I take that back. Like French. See, I'm as bigoted as anybody. I'll admit it. I'm not going to lie. Like French, I can't stand the French. Like in Montreal, I think Montreal's kind of a neat place in some ways, but there's too many French people there. I can't stand them. In Paris. I mean, Paris is beautiful in a lot of ways, but the biggest problem with Paris? Too many French people there.
Right.
The Brits. How many times have I ripped the Brits? In fact, it probably gets to the point where you're thinking, does Neil like anybody? Yeah, there's some people I like a lot. But it's not. But the Russians at Woodbine are, generally speaking, very loud and extremely obnoxious. I mean, it's like there are a lot of these European people who show up there who you feel, you want to ask them, have they ever let you out of the house before, or is this your first time out in the public? You know what I mean? They just don't know how to act around other people. And they stand over your shoulder and they're talking to their friends. But a lot of the Italians are that way, too. Very loud, very demonstrative, and very annoying, especially when you're plunging and losing your ass like I was on Friday. Now, maybe tomorrow morning I'll have a good machine, okay? If my connections with the Lord out there will pray to the right God. Who couldn't we pray to this time? Let's see. Moses didn't work. Abraham didn't work. Jesus sure as hell hates me like poison. I don't know who to have anybody pray to anymore for me at Woodbine. Doesn't Gornish Telfin, as they say.
Joe Boo.
I beg your pardon?
You never seen Major League?
No.
It's the guy that plays the...
Joe Mama?
No. He's on the car commercials.
Oh, yeah. He's in those, Geico commercials.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, and cranberry sauce.
Oh, man. Let's just play that for 4 hours. I love that.
I've been waiting to play that, by the way, since I came in this morning.
Have you really?
Yes.
Yeah, I made the mistake of telling him it was there.
Oh, yeah. Chris has done a wonderful thing for us yesterday. And who's the one that saw it on the air and put it on, open up this pot just in time for getting it on the air? George could smoke it and we could play it on the air.
That would be the legendary Neil Rogers.
Legendary Neil Rogers. 892 votes on the poll. Which do you bathe with? And I'm looking at almost 20% more men with soap than body wash. Goes to show I'm out of step. You're out of line, Neil. You're one of those fags. You're like a sissy pansy guy. You know what? Too bad. Sue me, okay? Sue my ass, so to speak. I just don't understand when something is available that's so much more convenient and more effective. You know, I don't know. I don't even remember when I used to bathe with soap. But like I was saying to Chris before the show this morning, when you use soap, obviously there are parts of your body that you're not going to be very effective in cleansing. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too graphic here, but there are certain body parts that the soap just, as opposed to body wash, especially if you use you can use a sponge or a loofah
or nothing, your hand
washcloth, or you can no.
Yeah.
Well,
we've had this argument. I mean,
I know. Well, if you're just using your hand in the shower, which is another story, and I don't want to go there, but if you're just smearing that on there with your hand, you're going to lose so much of it on the down the drain. You're going to use a whole bottle every time you take a shower.
You just got to know the routine,
You just got to know how to do it very, very carefully, so you don't spill too much. No, because when I first started using it, I was doing that, and every time I took a shower, I used half a bottle.
Oh, me too, man. When I started using it, I could use a bottle like 4 times, and I was done.
Well, I got news for you. I think what we need to do is have a whole show one day on body wash etiquette, and maybe we can get more of these guys to use the body wash, more of these uptight guys with their soap. 1041, 19 before 11 at QA.
Patois Friday, you bastards.
It's a special day here at Disney World when the screaming gays meet the rest of the girls in the closet no more. That's what gay day is for. It's a gay day after all. It's a day of fun when we wear red shirts, and when we all come, you can hear the squirts. We can tickle and tease with our manicured goatees. It's a gay day after all. We'll be holding hands in Adventureland and watch the Liza Minnelli marching band. We'll make tourists shriek with a kiss on the cheek. It's a gay day after all.
Well, good. I think I'm going to dump out of that at this point. I already dumped one thing in there. That happened the other day, too.
Did?
But yes.
What?
I'm not going to repeat it on the air if I dumped it. Are you a crazy person or what? You people just don't get the seriousness. Joe Bell's going to come in there and slap your ass and get you off that QAM website and cut your salary back to 40 cents an hour. At any rate, what's this lengthy thing you just sent me? Tiger Radio roars again. Is XM... what is that? This is amazing. I wonder if Ricky Ticky Shaw's listening this morning. He called a few days ago. Did you know that he called, Josh?
Yeah, I heard it.
Did you? There will be a shout-out to the Palmetto High cheerleaders who hang out at the Howard Johnson's Malt Shop on Kendall Drive. Howard Johnson's, are they... I guess they must be.
What?
But, Hojo's pretty much has disappeared, haven't they?
Yeah, and they were huge. They were like the Holiday Inns,
Yeah, they were everywhere. And they had, the ice cream, which wasn't really great ice cream. They had a lot of flavors. That was their big deal. The one thing they had was the clam strips that I really liked. They had good clam chowder, and they had good clam strips.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's too late now. Most of them are gone. In fact, there was a very famous one on Biscayne and I think about 125th. Am I right about that, or am I like, my Dade County days are so long in my behind. I just can't remember that stuff.
That's Chris. He's a Kendall guy.
Are there any Hojos? It says Howard Johnson's Malt Shop on Kendall Drive. Is there actually such a place?
Kendall and Ware. Kind of a long street.
I don't want to start playing young whippersnapper with you, but before you were born, practically, I lived in Kendall for like 7 years, okay? I lived on 107th Ave.
I didn't think you didn't know
Kendall and Sunset. I know Kendall, man, like the palm of your ass, okay? So just be careful. Anyway, can I get back to this? It's kind of interesting, marginally. It says there will be a shout-out to the Palmetto High cheerleaders who hang out at the Howard Johnson's Malt Shop on Kendall Drive, an arch nod to the kids watching the submarine races at Pre-Naked Hullover Beach, and, of course, plugs for that Cherry 65 GTO on display at the 163rd Street Shopping Center. Tiger Radio lives, it says. Oh, this is enough to make me get out those old QAM jingles.
That's what I was thinking.
The real ones. Yeah, like this one. No se habla inglés aquí, baby.
excellent day. WQAM. Olay!
Oh, in fact, in honor of this story, which I'll finish reading, but let's just play jingles. My. Let's whip out the jingles. When in doubt, whip them out.
WQAM.
For at least 5 hours anyway, it says, when XM satellite radio using old jingles, commercials, and vintage sound bites from disc jockeys, including Rick Shaw and Jim Dunlap, who's dead, by the way, recreates the glory days when Miami's WQM was not a sports talk station, but a top 40 giant that had the ear of most every teenager in South Florida. Boy, I wish I had the ear of most every teenager in South Florida, at least the legal ones like 18 and 19. That's still a teenager, isn't it?
Yep.
I mean, 17 is close enough because you can always ask when their birthday is. Now, see, if some straight guy's on the air, you know how it goes. Oogling over some 17-year-old chick like Brooke Shields or something like that. In fact, she was slapping her ass on there when she was like 15. That's great. But if Neil's on there oogling about like some 17-year-old guy who'll be 18 in a couple of months, oh, that faggot, he's like, yeah, I know. I'm a pervert, and I'm proud of it. The QM recreation airs from 4 to 9 p.m. today. It says, I shouldn't be promoting this. This is a setup deal. We've been set up. Oh, this is from Glenn Garvin in the Herald, so it's okay. It airs 4 to 9 p.m. on XM 60s on 6 Oldies channel. Can be heard for free on the internet at so-and-so. I'm not going to plug it. Or should I? Listen.xmradio.com. Free on the internet. Listen.xmradio.com. What do we care, you know? Better than hearing a bunch of homophobes calling the sports shows and, all those faggots at Disney, and Tim Hardaway is right, and he's got a right to open up a stupid mouth. He does. He's got a right to be as dumb as he wants to be. You're going to hear it all, promises XM DJ Terry Motormouth Young, who never worked at QM or any other Florida station, but pieced together the recreation from recordings collected by former station personnel, fan websites, and gossipy conversations with ex-Miamians who live near his Maryland home. Here's a guy who lives in Maryland who's doing a thing on QAM. And then there was always... Yeah, he had his own a cappella. That's good. Nice going, Rick. You're going to hear that contest where QM was giving away the GTO. You're going to hear the QM secret word. You're going to hear me dedicate a song to the cheerleaders hanging out at Howard Johnson's. You're going to hear an ad for the QM teen sock hop at Oceanfront Auditorium. I've never been to Miami, but I did my homework, he says. He's never even been to Miami, but he's doing a thing on QM in the old days. Well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It would be like my doing a show on some station in Seattle or something. Which I've never been to Seattle. I hear a lot of good things about Seattle. A lot of places I'd like to go. I think I'm going to play the lotto. It's $8 million tomorrow night. What?
Yeah.
And when you win the lotto here, like I told you, they write you a check. No taxes, no annuities, no BS, okay? This is a no BS place, man. Yep. No BS.
The odds are about the same, though, no?
No, there's no chance. But let me just tell you this about people being polite. Sometimes it's not such a good thing.
People being polite is not such a good thing?
No. I mean, it's a great thing. I love it, and I'm very polite when I'm here, too, because you just, when in Toronto, do as the Torontonians do. But yesterday I'm in my little convenience store.
Right.
And as I'm going out, I got a couple of items, my diet soda and the newspapers, and I'm coming out of there, and there's a guy with a beard who I would say about my age, maybe a little younger, maybe a couple of years older, but he's certainly in his 60s. And he's coming in, and he holds the door. And he said to me, "Go ahead, sir." And he said it very politely, and it was a nice thing for him to do, but it just was when he said, "Sir," I felt so old. You know what I mean?
No.
It's almost like, go ahead, old codger.
I'm not getting that. You're just, I feel like you're picking. That's just a nice thing, man. That would never happen here, ever.
I understand that, and here it happens every day. You risk your hand in the elevator. If you see somebody else coming real fast to get on the elevator, and we got a whole bunch of them in my building, but you reach out and you jam your hand in there so that the motion sensor will open the doors back up and they can get on it, and you risk getting your hand jammed in. But you just nice people beget other nice people, and hateful, nasty people beget other hasty, The QM show is part of a regular XM program, Sonic Sound Salute, in which Young has recreated top 40 giants from WABC in New York to KYA in San Francisco and dozens of cities in between. Before FM began to dominate the radio spectrum in the 70s and dozens of new programming formats splintered the audience into niches, top 40 stations attracted massive audiences, up to 70% of listeners in some cities that are unimaginable in today's broadcast universe. And the kids who listened to them round the clock in the 60s, now creeping through middle age, go wild when they hear their old stations. The first one I did was WKYC in Cleveland, and the switchboards here just exploded, says Young, who does his show from XM Studios in Washington. That would be neat for me, for like old farts like me. Obviously, the younger demographic. I don't know. Maybe the young punks like hearing them old jingles, too. And of course, you know, it goes back to that business about...
Most music, WQAM.
Oh, I like this one better.
Sports Queer Radio is what the Q's for in QAM.
You fair. Yeah, we're holding hands. We're sitting around holding hands here. In fact, Josh and I are holding hands through the 1,200 miles between Toronto and the studio in Miami. Are you holding my hand?
Yeah, that's it.
Don't squeeze it so tight now. That's a little bit faggy, okay? It's one thing to hold it. It's another thing to squeeze it. And the hand, too. But anyway, that was really emotional the other day. We talked about it at great length when you came in and said you loved me. I thought that was so spectacular.
And I followed it up with, can I be in your will?
I can assure you, I can guarantee you, as much as I like you, I don't love you. There are 4 people in this world that I love a lot. They all know who they are, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, you know, I can't, I've only got so much to spread around. You know what I mean? Just like the show, I've only got so much manure to spread around. Although it seems to be like an almost endless supply when you come right down to it. But anyway, you're not going to be in my will. Well, maybe a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, how much would be...
Maybe like Flava Wave ovens for life.
No, seriously, how much would be a nice gesture, Chris? I mean, give me a small dollar amount, like $5,000, $50,000.
For Josh?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if he's going to give me part of it or not. 50,000.
I got news for you.
Look at that. Hey, he said 50,000 right there.
50 grand?
Yeah,
well, that's not much.
Yeah, but he hasn't done too much for you.
Hey, 2 years. Oh, over 2 years I was on
He did a good job. He's a good guy. He really
he's no George.
Well, but if I left him 50 grand, how much would I have to leave George in the will?
I
think after the break, let's come back and argue about Neil's will.
The biggest names.
I think I'm going to put it all in the box with me. I'm taking it with me.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
No.
Soda and shampoo and coffee and water, gel candles and teething rings for your daughter. Dump out that duty-free case of champagne. These are the things you can't take on a plane. Cheese whiz and hair gel and lip balm and toothpaste. Clear as silk for all of those zits on your face. You have bad sunburn but no solar cane. That's one more thing you can't take on a plane. At the airport, you'll be waiting. It may seem insane. While they make you throw out all of those things you cannot take on a plane.
Yeah, that really frosted my ass when I went on that trip to Berlin. I had to, I'm not going to go out and get no plastic bag and walk around like some kind of a silly pansy with a bag full of shaving cream and aftershave and toothpaste, stuff like that. So I threw it all out. I didn't take any with me, but the stuff that I bought over there, I threw it all out before I came back. People are starving, and I'm throwing out stuff that maybe cost me like $7, $8, $10. Not good.
Damn.
Josh would have taken the $10.
Yeah?
942 votes on the poll, but then again, I still do love you, so just relax. Not. Which do you bathe with? 942 on the poll. We got almost 1,000 already. I'm a male, and I use soap, 474. We're so sorry for you. 50% of this audience is living in the distant past. But then again, they're living, most of them, in South Florida, too, so what does that tell you? I'm a male, I use body wash, 321. Well, te salud. I seldom bathe, 58. Female uses body wash, 37. I hate this poll has got
about 30, man.
Only 3.1%. And the female uses soap, 22. So the women, 37 to 22, which is 6.2% of the audience, female. That's weak. Really weak. But in the male category, it's 50 to 34% still hanging on, clinging to that soap, hoping maybe that they drop it. At any rate, criminal charges will not be filed against a Disney employee accused of hitting a teenager while in costume as the character Tigger, authorities said. See, that's one thing I like is a little closure, as in close your yap. The state attorney's office announced yesterday that it will not press charges against Michael J. Fedlem, Prosecutors made the decision after reviewing a complaint from New Hampshire resident Jerry Monaco, who, in my humble opinion, was looking to make a quick hit. Monaco videotaped his 14. Now, I wonder if that was during gay days. You think that maybe Tigger was holding some guy's hand? That would have been really bad.
Yeah, it would.
I would have been offended, wouldn't you? You know, I think of the things that I hear people say, and 'cause being my age and haven't been around the world as much as I have, and I think to myself, what kind of existence have you lived? What kind of sheltered Neanderthal jackass could you possibly be? There were guys holding hands and guys with their arms around each other, and my kids were with me. Oh, my God! God forbid that your kids should see that there are guys who show affection to each other. Monaco videotaped his 14-year-old son, Jerry Jr., posing with a costumed Fedlem at Disney MGM Studios in January. And I watched that video several times. There was nothing going on.
No.
Nothing happened. At some point, a confrontation occurred between the boy and Fedlem. It says, I didn't see none. He was just funning him, you know. The father later watched the videotape and said Fedlem intentionally hit his son on or about the head, Orange County Sheriff officials said. Park officials suspended Fedlem, 31, while the investigation was being conducted. A telephone call placed to Disney officials by the AP early today to find out Fedlem's employment status was not immediately returned. So he didn't get charged, but we don't know if he's still working there. And like I said, if he's running around holding guys' hands, he's going to get fired immediately. Isn't that amazing? I had to dump that thing out of that Disney gate. That's a good bit, too. It's so timely.
I didn't hear anything that you had to dump.
You want me to play it again and dump it again? I'm not going to do that because,
I know.
If I left it in your incompetent hands, even though I do love you madly... Just the thought of it is so ludicrous, you know. The Dolphins, this is the story of the day, and it took me over an hour to get to it, which is good. I haven't even taken a call yet. Not that there are any right now. There were several earlier, but I'll get to them eventually, so we can hear some more good stuff yesterday. Did you hear the caller who said that terrorism is the same as being gay?
Yeah, I did.
That you are born a terrorist just like you're born gay. Now, that was a classic. It was a little spastic, but it was classic. So maybe we can get some more good stuff like that today. Barry Jackass, however, writes, the Dolphins are still mulling offers from WQAM and incumbent 790 the ticket, and word is the decision could go either way.
Oh, my God.
But regardless of the outcome, and this is the most, the body wash thing really turns my stomach, but this news is some of the worst I've ever heard in my life. It's just amazing to me. But regardless of the outcome, Jimmy Cefalo appears set to return as the play-by-play announcer. The analyst situation is a different story, says Barry. Jimmy Cefalo, who is so bad, he makes Joe Zagacki sound like Mel Allen. Oh. That's how bad Jimmy Cefalo is. I have never spoken to anybody who thinks he does a good job on a broadcast.
Yeah,
in fact, quite the contrary. Everybody who's ever made a comment to me has said, "Can you believe how bad he is? Can you believe how grotesque his performance is?" Hey, Jimmy.
You fairy.
WQAM wants former Dolphins analyst Jim Mandich back on the broadcast.
All right.
If it requires rights, but would also be receptive to adding current analyst Joe Rose. According to industry officials, the Dolphins like Mandich and Rose. If WQAM reacquires the rights, there are two scenarios that have been mentioned. One, a two-man booth with Cefalo and Mandich, or less likely, a three-man booth with Cefalo, Rose, and Mandich. Rose's 790 contract expires in early September. If WQAM lured Rose to do a talk show and work Dolphin games, it would be a major blow to the ticket, which assuredly would do everything to try to keep him. Rose very narrowly edged WQAM's morning show in the last ratings book. That's because Kenny wasn't talking enough about how much ass he got the night before at home. But he's certainly turned that around, so to speak. The issue is moot if the ticket and didn't have enough homophobic calls on the air, but the last 2 days they've more than made up for it. Seriously, I mean, Bo, I just don't get. I mean, Bo is big, macho guy, about 8 feet tall, could stomp you with one finger. I just don't get it. The issue is moot if the ticket retains Dolphin rights, but Rose could face a difficult decision if the Dolphins move to WQAM. Joe has been here since day one, September 1st, 2004, and is a very important part of our station, said John Wiener, general manager of the ticket. General manager Stu Gotts. Oh, my God, from board op to producer to flunky to general manager, because Daddy's got a lot of money.
Yep.
We want him here and anticipate that he'll be here for a long time, said Stu Gotts.
Can I just say something?
Go right ahead. Interject all you want.
Okay.
Take all the time.
People that are sending the article that you're currently reading, please stop.
Yes.
Like four of the same article coming in as we speak.
How can I possibly miss this article? Huh?
If I was shocked, I just want people to stop. He's reading it right now.
I just got what may be the funniest text message here in the history of my life from Norma Kent. This is great.
Well, please do share.
Able to share?
It says, I have taken the liberty and amended your will to include a provision for anyone who emails you on MySpace with a photo who is of legal age to receive a nominal stipend and signed photograph.
That is pretty good.
It says, staff at the station will be advised they're entitled to 2 photographs as well as a video feed of your coffin. QAM and I signed an extension to have you broadcast in 2008 from Woodbine. There you go. That's from Norma. Well, isn't that sweet? That's very sweet. So anybody who I've emailed, believe me, I'm not offering nobody in my will again for a long time. I'll tell you that. That's not a good tactic. That's a good way to get people panicky. I'm not doing that.
I don't know.
What?
I've heard you're not going to Woodbine anymore.
Who told you that? I'm going tomorrow morning.
I know. I mean, you've had your phases like, oh, I'm not going, and I'm like, right.
No, well, since I've come back from Berlin, which is like a week and a couple of days now, I've not had one winning day. They just ain't paying, man. There is no good machine.
That's tough.
Nice going, Norma. That was a great. I might have to read that again. Anyway, let's get back to the important stuff: the ticket and QAM and the Dolphin rights, and which station's going to lose the money. And Jimmy Cefalo is doing the games. That right there. That's
the big below, if you will.
Yes. It says, Rose declined on potential scenarios. As for Syphilis, the Dolphins like him being the face of the franchise from a broadcast perspective, and both the ticket and WQAM would be comfortable with him returning on play-by-play. The ticket lured the Dolphins from QM 2 years ago, but got the team to restructure its contract last spring because it was losing its ass on it, losing money, Barry says, losing millions. As part of the deal, Big 106 was permitted to carry the games on FM. Now the QM 790 battle for rights is a toss-up with a decision coming soon, says Barry. It's coming soon. So a whole bunch of people are faxing that in while I'm reading it on the air.
Yeah.
Maybe the delay didn't catch up. And by the way, speaking of delay, I don't want to start bellyaching about it, but what you told me yesterday, Chris, about that's not what I ever understood about this thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they had it differently for you for a while, but ever since we got those delays in for the Howard Stern show, that's what they are.
Well, that's not what it was before. It was like 30-second delay. Well, whatever it is, it is.
Well, we used to actually have 2 20-second dumpable delays. It was like a double dump.
Double dump. I've had those. Yeah, I've had plenty of those.
And Duff was actually in charge of that during the Howard David show, or the Howard Stern show. And then when we got rid of Howard Stern,
he was in charge of the double dump.
One of the
Duff was doing the double dump, and that's when he was going like that. During the Stern show. It's amazing that Howard had any numbers on the station because it was like listening to a piece of Swiss cheese. There were so many holes through it. But nevertheless, it was a really act of ingenuity to be putting that on there. Nice going there, Joyce. That was a Joyce thing, too. Joyce and the Beasleys. Brilliant. 967 on a poll. We're approaching that 1,000 mark. Which do you bathe with? Male with the soap, 486, over 50%. Male with a body wash, 327. See, I mean, it makes no difference to me. I'm not going to be taking showers with any of you guys anyway, so what difference does it make to me? But it just isn't. Aren't you a little bit shocked by that?
No.
It would be like if I took a poll saying, what kind of TV do you have, color or black and white? And 50% said, I'm watching black and white TV. I just don't get it. I sell to bathe, 59. Female body wash, 41. Hate the poll, 31. Female soap, only 23. So and of course the guys would say, well, the ladies, of course, because it's a lady thing. It's a lady thing and a fag thing, the body wash. Real men don't use body wash. I'm getting choked up again. I think Josh and Chris might have to finish the show.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Friday, you bastards.
We singled you out 'cause you look like a freak.
Yes.
With eyes that bulge out and a nose like a bee.
Huh?
Don't want any viewers to go. We put you on at the end of the show. 'Cause you're dorky and you're fat. You waddle in, this is your video. gigantic pants. We say your voice is a total train wreck, and then we make fun of your birth defects. Laughing at you is kinda sad, 'cause you have a bad face, you're a little bit slow. Weirdos like you make this the #1 show. Randy has a blank stare, Simon says cruel things. It's morons like you that drive Colin and drink. You have a bad face, the camera don't lie. You're on a freak show called American Idol. You have a bad face. Boy, you have a bad face.
Yeah, I know. Somebody sent in a really good poll, which we're going to be doing soon, I think. The thing I fear most about growing old is hair growing in my ears. And it sure does, man.
Yeah, you have issues with that?
Yeah, I have issues, all right. I got all kinds of hair. In fact, the hair in your nose starts getting a little bit longer. Everything gets longer except your... No, that doesn't happen.
Well, use that body groom.
I beg your pardon?
That Norelco body groom.
Is that what it is? Oh, no, I'm not talking about shaving there. No way. No way, Jose. Because that sounds awfully...
Gay.
I mean, I'm gay enough already. I don't want to, go over the top. Hair growing in my ears. Everything droops. The winky won't work. I poop my pants. Yes. I won't be able to afford to live. My kids will stick me in a home. Nothing I'm looking forward to, and I hate this poll. That's not a bad poll, huh? Maybe even for tomorrow. This hour might actually sneak a few calls in there. But let's get back to the very important thing now that Anna Nicole's body is still stinking real bad. That judge, and George is right, that Perper guy, what is he? He's the, what is he?
I don't know.
Oh, he's like the coroner or something. I don't know what his title is, but anyway, his part of his
medical
head's missing.
examiner.
Medical examiner, right? Very good, Chris. His part of his head is like missing.
That's tough.
Yeah, I saw him last night on the Kingmeister, I believe, and he's got these big gigantic ears. Maybe that last song I played is for him. I don't know. He's a very strange looking guy. But who am I to be talking about strange looking guys? I better shave the hair out of my ears. Anyway, getting back to Tim Hardaway and the fact that they're parading around his car wash down there in the Gables and boycotting and creating a big simus. Heat president and head coach Pat Riley, who coached Hardaway during his Heat tenure, said he was a little bit shocked by some of the words that he used. That kind of thinking can't be tolerated. It just can't, Riley said during a WQAM radio interview. But I do know Tim's a good spirit, and I'm sure now wish he could take all of that back. And I hope he's not severely judged, is what Pat said. Hardaway's comments could hurt him financially. Bald Guys, a New Jersey-based company that makes grooming products for bald men, dropped him as a spokesman Thursday, 4 months after making him the first former pro to represent the 2-year-old company. Bald Guys, like baldness, does not discriminate based on lifestyle choice, color... let me get back to that in a second to remind me about lifestyle choice. In fact, that's interesting that they use both those words there. Color, education, financial resources, religion, physical capabilities, or in any other way, Howard Bronner, CEO of Bald Guys, said in a statement. Matt Foreman, president of the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, released a statement calling Hardaway a hero to thousands of young people, and that's what makes his comments so troubling. Sadly, his words simply put the pervasive homophobia in the NBA on the table, is what Matt said. Now, before I go on about that business about lifestyle and choice, well, the thing we dealt with that jackass that called yesterday about realizing or deciding what your sexual orientation is, it's not a choice. You are what you are. In fact, I got a really ugly email about that on our... We have 1,201 MySpace friends, by the way, now. 1,201.
Wow.
Isn't that impressive? You're probably even amazed. George is never impressed. He's just, he's a beaten down old man is what he is, and I feel bad about that. But nevertheless, 1201 is not bad, and I got a very ugly anonymous message about that. Well, like since when is there a gay gene and all this other stuff, and I immediately deleted it. That delete button works wonders. It's fabulous. From some profile that didn't exist with somebody with no name, that kind of crap. That's it's like the anonymous caller is the same crap. Behind the shield of anonymity, everybody, or at least most everybody, is a real ballsy guy, But this business about lifestyle, the gay lifestyle, well, what does that mean? Is there a straight lifestyle? There's lifestyles of the rich and flaming, I know that. Well, what does that mean, the gay lifestyle? They use that expression all the time. It's a lifestyle. A lifestyle choice even by this jackass who's, all over the place. Not a choice, it's not a lifestyle, it's what you are. It's who you are and what you are. It's in your brain. It's part of who you are. Period. Get over it. That's my suggestion to you, okay? I'm not apologizing to anybody for who I am, what I am. I'm a doddering old queen with a very biting, sarcastic, caustic sense of humor. Anybody that doesn't like it, go away. That's all. That's my comment. Just to get lost. Get out of my way. I'm going to be in a box soon. Lifestyle. My ass. Oh, sorry. Anyway, Hardaway's got an ownership stake in several South Florida businesses. A person who answered the phone at Tim Hardaway's US 1 car wash in Miami but declined to be identified for obvious reasons said that more than 20 people had called to complain, but that customer flow had not dropped. A man who identified himself as the manager at Hardaway's House of Wings in Coconut Grove declined to comment. Tim Hardaway's House of Wings in the Grove. They're boycotting already. See, this is in the Herald from earlier, but they're boycotting this morning at the car wash. Hardaway's comments followed last week's disclosure by former NBA Senator John Amaechi that he's gay. Amaechi, who's promoting a book, told ESPN Radio yesterday that the comments by Hardaway and people like him are the loud comments that pollute the air. These are the comments that create the atmosphere that allows some of the tragic incidents of homophobia that we've seen, some of the attacks, some of the deaths. Is it his fault? Is it him that makes these people do these terrible acts? No, but it creates the atmosphere of permissiveness in which important people think it's okay to treat gay people this way. This is what makes the lives of gay and lesbian young people in school miserable, said Amaechi. Hardaway played for the Heat, we know this, but on several occasions he's expressed interest in returning to the roster, but they said, And what do you think now? Do you think the chances are pretty good now? No. The incident sparked a call for the pro sports teams to put their players through sensitivity training. Instead of being in denial about homophobia in sports, they need to take action, said Saves Pena. Well, that's some organization. I didn't read that part of the story. Pena. It's time for the NBA and the NFL to bring in people who will sensitize the players to these issues. We would facilitate it. And gay leaders pointed out the Heat's popularity with all kinds of fans. If he thinks homosexuals are not sports fanatics, he better wake up and smell the coffee, said Rod Bernesky, co-founder and president of the Unity Coalition, Miami-Dade's leading Hispanic gay rights group. How do you like that?
Incredible.
There are plenty of Heat fanatics who happen to be gay, and we go to those games, said Ronnie Boy. Nice going, Ronnie Boy. All right. So the fallout continues, and I got a big article here from a Raw story about it. It'll kill some good time, you know.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. What's the point?
This is our own gay or not gay segment.
Yeah, well, when do we come up with the oblong table, or when does that start? The square table. If you're going to try to get me started into a attack on that morning show, go right ahead. It just isn't going to happen. I mean, what's the point? What is there for me to say that I haven't already said, you know? I'll tell you one thing I haven't said, and that is we got 1,000 votes. We got 1,002 votes already. It's not even 11:30 yet. That is really fantastic. The only sad part of it is the result. I mean, look, there's no point in taking a poll if it always turns out the way you expect it to or you want it to or whatever, but it's just shocking to me. Which do you bathe with, body wash or soap? I'm a male. I use soap 505, still over 50%. Clinging to that soap, squeezing it tightly. And, of course, if you squeeze the soap tightly, it tends to, squirt out of your hands. And then you have to bend down and pick it up. The male body wash, 337. I seldom bathe, 60. 6% of the audience seldom bathes. Female used body wash, 43. I hate this poll, 32, only 3.1%. And female who uses soap, 25. So we got, 6.6% of the audience female. That's not too exciting. But nevertheless, almost 2 to 1. The females with body wash. And like I said, all it does is reinforce the macho guys out there. See, that's for the ladies, Neil. When are you going to get with it and stop acting like some kind of a lady?
The biggest names, the best talent. Never. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Swap Friday, you bastards.
Yo, this is Kevin Federline, K-Fed, with exciting news for those of you wanting to lose weight. Yeah, I'll admit I was getting a little fat on the gravy train, so I decided to do something about it. Well, actually, something was done for me, but screw her, you know? Anyway, introducing Federline Cuisine. Federline Cuisine is the easy way to lose weight because, well, you don't eat much because, well, you can't afford to. Federline Cuisine is awesome. Piece of steak, pasta, a crab leg, maybe. And for dessert, this used to be ice cream, I think. Yeah, you get all this food that don't cost nothing. Where'd I get all this great grub? out and back of the restaurant in the big green box. It's like a buffet.
Fetter lean cuisine. Not just a diet, it's a way of life.
Yeah, I love that mean cuisine. It's 11:31 at 560 QM. Here's the schedule for this afternoon. We got Mad Dog at 2. Power Hour with the Humper and the Mad Dog together between 4 and 5. Humper Solo 5 to 7. Eddie K 7 to 10 tonight. Isn't it amazing how many people, like, they kind of go away and then they come back in 5 minutes? Thank God for Eddie K being back. He's like a fixture on QAM. Am I right?
Definitely.
Yeah. What happened to Josh? He leave? I guess
No,
he
I'm
got
here.
Emotionally, I guess he got overwrought with emotion after I told him I loved him so many times.
That's it.
5. We ought to take some calls this half hour, don't you think?
How have the calls been? I mean, I've been listening. They haven't gotten any better since I've been
What do you mean by that? I would say this week, since I came back from my well-deserved vacation, I think they haven't been that bad. Am I right, Chris? They haven't been too bad.
We've had some decent ones finally.
Yeah, and of course yesterday. I mean, how could you beat those couple of calls? The guy who made the case for me, I couldn't. $1,000 wouldn't have paid for that call. When he's giving me a song to dance about, it's being gay is not a choice now. He's giving me the interrogation, you know. And then he said, well, and I asked him about, how did he know he was attracted to females? Well, when I was an adolescent, I realized, and then after I nailed him on the realized, then he finally changed it to decided. He decided he liked ladies, Decided. He made the choice. Like somebody put like one from column A, one from column B on a Chinese restaurant menu, that kind of thing.
Maybe he decided after a guy turned him down.
Maybe that was it. Maybe after all the guys said, get lost, loser. Maybe that's what he said. Maybe the ladies will put up with my crap. I doubt it, though. WQAM, hello.
Do you like my...
I missed this. Let's keep going.
Boy, you're really wound up. I think that Flavor Wave, man, you're easy. Jesus.
He's
Too bad you
hyped
don't
up for
look, huh?
He's hyped up for it. He's doing jumping jacks during the breaks.
That's because you're so excited to be back on this show, and you know it.
Of course, I love the show.
In fact, if they would have paid you the same money to just stay on this show, now, of course, Chris don't like hearing this, but because Chris is doing a fine job, don't get me wrong, but I'm just talking about your altitude. If they'd have paid you the same amount to stay on the show as to what they're doing to that goofy QAM website, you would have said, that's my druthers. I'd stay right with the old man.
Is that even like a question? Or?
Well, there you go. See, I rest my case. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay, sir.
Let me ask you a question. How come if you're a straight guy like Tim Hardaway, you assume that if somebody's gay, they're going to be interested in you?
Yeah, oh, sir, you have just touched on one of the greatest things of all time, and that is that so many really grotesque straight guys think that all of us fags are like just drooling all over them. That always cracks me up.
Right, I got a friend who says, I wouldn't want to see gays in the Army because what if you're in a foxhole and, you're going to die and the guy might do something to you? Their dying wish is to be with this guy. I mean, it's incredible.
I think he's got his holes all mixed up. Okay, thanks, Pally. Okay. How do you like that? No, but that's one of the things that us fags talk about all the time is how many straight guys think that every fag, every gay guy is oogling all over them and just dying to do something with them. And in the meantime, wouldn't touch them with your hand. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yes, you do. Don't give me this no. You know exactly what I'm saying. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yeah, the one thing I've found so amazing with you is that you're gay, but you know so much about sports. I can't believe the things that come out of your mouth and how you know everything about sports just blows me away.
Yeah.
And you're gay.
Yeah, so?
Well, how'd you do that?
Oh, it's a mystery. I can't explain it on the air. It's a mystery. And you say the calls aren't good? Oh, man, he was sensational. You're gay, but you know all this sports stuff, and you're a big hockey fan, and you go to all these, used to be a Dolphins season ticket holder for years and years, and you watch the Leafs beat the Flyers 4-2 last night, the pathetic Flyers. How do you know all this stuff? Gay has got nothing. It's just. I mean, why would I even try to answer something like that? But that's the ignorance, man. It is rampant. And when you understand that it's ignorance, it's not as bad as just plain hate just for the sake of it. Just because people are stupid. Yeah, every gay person is like singing show tunes and putting on mascara and dressing up like the ladies, doing a little cross dressing and stuff like that. Wow. WQAM, hello. This thing is starting to get funky again.
I don't think anything's punched up.
I'm hitting it again. There you go. QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know what? That Tim Hardaway, any supposedly straight guy that gets that mad on the radio has got to be gay.
Is that it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you're mad, you're gay. Okay, if you're gay, you're mad. The darkest of the dark greens are coming up now. That's a very good sign. At the ass end of this cold. 1,022 votes on the poll. Maybe I ought to make a little tea during this next break.
That'd be good.
Some of that.
Constant cement?
Constant cement. That's what it is. That's a very good name for it. It tastes like cement. It's the worst taste in tea, but it works very good. See, that's if there was a God, would he really make things that taste great bad for you and things that are good for you taste horrible? Although I'm not one of those people that hates broccoli. George is like that. He hates broccoli. He hates cauliflower, stuff like that. I love that stuff. What's not to like? You don't, though, huh?
No, I love broccoli. Cauliflower, I can
See,
deal
I'm one
with
of those
it.
guys. I'm a cheese lover, and so like at Ruth Chris, you can get like cauliflower or broccoli au gratin or spinach au gratin, and man, I could just eat that by the gallon full. I just love that stuff, and it's good for you. Alleged. Yeah. Well, all the heavy cheese in there, of course, probably gives you an oil, clog your arteries, but nevertheless. See, if there was a God, he wouldn't have made constant cement tea so good for your throat. It's soothing and it goes down good. That's what Kathy Willett said. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
The only thing that scared me about getting old is still being with the same windbag I'm with now. Growing old with the same woman. Add that one to your poll.
Okay, well, I don't blame you, Pally, from the sound of it. We're not doing that. I just said I might do that for tomorrow, but he wants to get out ahead of the game.
You mean Monday, but yeah.
Yeah, Monday.
Coming in tomorrow, do Neil
Rogers'
Rogers Saturday
the
show?
body wash poll is going to continue all the way through the weekend then, huh?
That's right.
That is today's poll. Well, see, I get so far ahead of myself on there. Did you notice what I just almost said? I almost said, oh. Yeah, just like that.
Oh, you finally got that, huh?
Oh, yeah. I got it. I don't have the Little Richard thing, though. I'm very jealous of that. Monday morning, don't forget, Chris. I got to get that, steal that from you.
Okay.
Or maybe they'll put that on the next disc that they send up here.
We'll
WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Grab Tim by the collar. Let him know you can take him out anytime you feel like it. Get the crowd beneath your feet, Win. Get the wind behind your back and go out the blaze if you got your Neil. I got you.
So threatening to you, sir. Why is that so freaking threatening? Is that going to change your kids? Is that going to harm them? Or is it going to make them maybe a little bit more open-minded? Like, hey, this ain't no thing, like that.
By the way, I'm almost positive that the kid wouldn't even have noticed anything.
Right.
If the dad didn't say anything.
Oh, there were guys holding hands there. It's Daddy that's peeing in his pants that's having a nervous breakdown because Daddy's probably in the freaking closet.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Friday, you bastard.
You're a busy professional woman with your eye on the corner office. You've got it all. Nice car, nice house, plenty of money. Yet there's still something missing. You've tried online dating, singles bars, reality shows, and even blind dates set up by your mother. But you still can't find Mr. Right. Well, now you can stop looking. Microsoft introduces the Husbot. A life-size, window-based, anatomically correct, fully functional companion that simulates all husbandly duties. Your customized Husbot will arrive via ground shipping in 4 to 6 weeks, completely ready to go.
Husbot, will you take out the garbage, please?
I am watching the game.
You've been sitting in front of that television set for hours.
Shut up, bitch.
What did you say to me?
You heard me.
You don't talk to me that way.
I am the boss.
You know what? My mother was right about you, Husbot.
You are just like that Banshee.
What is that supposed to mean?
Just get me a beer and some Cheetos and zip it.
Here's Husbot creator, Dr. Fritz Beckenbauer.
I was looking to create the perfect partner for the woman. Then I stumbled upon the Husbot. I made him exactly like the man.
Oh, what was that?
I farted.
You're disgusting.
Let's make whoopee.
Make whoopee? Are you kidding? You repulse me.
Come on, baby, daddy's horny.
Get away from me.
The Husbot is available in white,
hello,
black,
what's up, dog,
Hispanic,
hola,
Indian,
hello, tech support,
and albino.
Turn off the lights.
Women all over the world are getting their Husbots.
I thought being single was bad, but now I'm married and miserable. Thank you, Husbot.
That meatloaf is not going to cook itself.
Go to hell, Husbot.
At least they can cook my meatloaf.
The Husbot from Microsoft. Just as lousy as a normal guy.
Bite me.
14 till noon at QM. By the way, we're making progress now, which is really outstanding. We're a little under 50% on the soap as opposed to the body wash. bulletin there. 1,045 votes, and 49.9% are males are using soap, 522, and...
I'm sorry, I just had a little technical error here in the studio.
What happened?
I just pulled the microphone off the stand. I was trying to adjust it.
Yeah, and it's just hanging there?
Like Incredible Hulk it all the way off.
Well, maybe not pull it so hard next time.
Try not to.
1,045 votes, and a little under 50% of the guys using soap. The ladies, however, 46 body wash and 26 for soap. I mean, you know, this is a little bit almost like paper or plastic, you know. Maybe we'll do that one next week. Maybe the guy that called in about the poll about getting old, maybe he can call in about paper or plastic. What do you say, Pally? Come on. You can do it. Anyway, getting back to Hardaway, and they had a big thing on CNN about it just now. There was Charles Barkley on there pontificating and spitting at people, too. I thought that was a little bit over the top. Former NBA player John Amaechi and the Englishman's admission of homosexuality with a hardline stance against gay players in the NBA from Hardaway, bada-beep-bada-boop-bada-bop. Hardaway said he hated gay people. And Amaechi, whose book on his closeted life in the NBA was published Wednesday, would not have been someone Hardaway wanted as a teammate. First of all, I wouldn't want him on my team, and second of all, if he was on my team, I would, really distance myself from him because I don't think that's right, Hardaway said. He doesn't think it's right. I don't think he should be in the locker room while we're in the locker room. I wouldn't even want to be a part of that. There's a lot of other people I hear who are like that and still in the closet. I don't like that. He just don't like it, Tim Hardaway don't like it. Amaechi has said there are other gay players in the NBA currently, so it's entirely possible Hardaway's had homosexual teammates and hadn't even known it. Hardaway, who told a Miami TV station he wouldn't speak to a gay family member, apologized for his comments in a statement. And, of course, they always do that. When it starts, the public reaction is bad, when you start losing all your contracts, then, I apologize, sorry anybody got offended, bada-beep-bada-boop-bada-bop.
When his
Beyond
agent...
here-ish... What?
I was going to say, when his agent told him he screwed himself, he won't get any more gigs.
Now, shut up your stupid mouth, you jackass. Beyond mere issues of locker room trust and bonds among teammates, Amaechi said Hardaway's words of anger and intimidation show why gay people worry about making their sexual orientation public. It now allows people to take off those rose-colored glasses and understand that homophobia is a problem not only in sports but in society, Amaechi told ESPN, publishers of his book. Spewing vitriol isn't something we should give credit to for sparking discussion. Society's not for that. One man has made hundreds of thousands of people now feel uncomfortable, unsafe, feel they should hide and run. What he has done has made life more difficult, perhaps more dangerous for people in society, not just in sports. His views embolden those who hold the same views. When he depersonalizes it, it's not just a foolish comment. It's a foolish comment that echoes around the country. People will feel under pressure, like they're under attack. They'll feel anxious. They'll know there's a face and a voice for all those people who are out there who hate them. I don't know how that can be conducive to any kind of society at all, Amaechi said. Amaechi, who's black, rejects the idea of mere tolerance for gays, saying, I have no interest in being tolerated as a black or gay person. Well, I say amen to that, as a gay or a white person, or black. Amaechi said that while response to his revelation has been overwhelmingly positive, Hardaway's comments have touched a wave of threatening anti-gay messages beyond what he'd been receiving. Every comment that Hardaway made is labeled with hate, Amaechi said. The percentage of emails I've gotten overnight that are going to have to go into a little box somewhere just in case I end up dead are unbelievable. That's what he said.
Unbelievable.
Just like that, he said it. He's been a lightning rod for people to finally open the floodgates and decide they can say some pretty awful stuff. These are the comments that create the atmosphere that allows some of the tragic incidents of homophobia that we've seen, Amaechi said. This is what makes the lives of gay and lesbian young people in schools miserable. It's what stops gay and lesbian people in the workplace from coming out, as well as the fact that they could be fined in 33 states for being gay, said Amaechi. Here's a very important fact, I'm sure. It says, poll suggestion. Oh, I like that. That's, yeah.
Not too bad, right?
Gay people are born that way, choose that life, wish they were straight, are all flamers, are easy to spot, want me, or love Tim Hardaway. Yeah, a lot of good choices on there, huh? It's a little bit unbalanced, I would say. That's from down the street at University Dodge there. That's Kimball Boatcamper's joint.
Really? Isn't that where the thing I fear about growing old poll came from, too?
Well, let me see.
Yeah, it is. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it is. University of we get zillions of faxes from down there. So Kimba's workmates, or maybe Kimba himself, I don't know. Nobody ever puts names on these, But there are a lot of people who do stuff like that, who have aren't really working all day, and so they send you all kinds of faxes and text messages and stuff like that, which is great,
Mad Dog would call them corporate time-stealing weasels.
Corporate time-stealing weasels, which is fine with me. I'm all for less work and more pay. I've always said that, and that's my motto. Less work, more pay. Just show me the money, sweetie. Man, that is scalding hot. I think I boiled that water a little bit too long, man. It's hotter than a witch's knuckle. 1,049 votes on the poll, and we're down to 49.8% on the soap. I mean, not that it makes any difference. No matter what the result of the poll is, it ain't going to change one person out there. They're still going to be squeezing that soap, and it's going to be flying all over the wall, and et cetera. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
I'm at Perfect Rock House.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to speak to Neil, please.
Speaking.
I guess if gay men are allowed to stay in the locker room with straight men, then heterosexual men should be allowed to be in girls' locker rooms, or girls should be allowed in men's locker rooms. I mean, what's the difference?
Right.
What's the difference? I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
okay.
attracted to that and you have a bunch of men running around and, you know, you're attracted to men, wouldn't it be the same as a heterosexual being in a locker room full of women?
No.
What's the difference?
What's the difference is that homosexual men, well, I mean, there really isn't technically any difference, but what would be the point? I mean, we obnoxious to
Well, it
subject
would be
women to
allowed.
having
I
men
mean, that
in the
would
locker room with them naked.
No,
You see,
I mean, it would
you're
absolutely not be allowed
assuming, which the guy mentioned before, you're assuming that all homosexual men want to hop on every other guy's bones. That's what
No,
you're
I don't
assuming.
assume that at all. I just think that it's not right for them to be able to stare at a bunch of naked men that
Well,
they're
what do you mean they're
attracted to.
staring at it? How do you know they're staring? What makes
Well,
you
I
say
mean,
that
if
they're
you're
staring
taking
at it?
showers in a locker room, I mean, it's hard to miss. You know, why can't a heterosexual men be there?
You know what it
with
sounds like, sir?
women?
It sounds like the voice of experience to me. That's what it sounds like. They're staring at them, yes?
I report on the Hurricanes for the station, you know, get interviews and stuff for our things. The female sports writers are allowed to go into the male locker rooms.
For several years now,
And
right.
I can tell you, every time I've talked to one of them, and they've talked about, you know, most of the players are good, you know, when all the reporters go in there, once they've opened it up, most of them cover up. Some of them, it's almost like on purpose. They just stand at the locker naked.
They're hanging their goods,
Every
yeah.
single female reporter has said they personally hate it. And that, like, a couple of them will make sure they bring in pads so that they can, you know, position it so that they're not seeing anything. That they're
You know,
just
the
seeing
interesting
person
part of
what's
what
up.
this guy just said is this. How many episodes has anybody ever heard of any athlete being attacked by his gay fellow athlete in the locker room? I've never heard of that in my life. Have you?
No.
Never heard of it. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's just stupidity. Yeah, well, we shouldn't allow them in there. It's just not right because they're staring at him and they're looking at their goods. And what about it? How about if I'm sitting in a shopping mall and I'm out there, I'm staring at hot-looking young guys, okay? Does that make me some kind of a pervert? Yes, and I'm glad to be. I mean, what is it? What does it do to somebody else? Why are you so threatened, sir? What is it that you're so concerned about, that you're so uptight about? And again, this goes back to the same deal, even though he denies it, about every one of these homophobes thinks that every gay guy is just dying to grab a hold of his goods and get him in the sack and do every which way and all this other crap. Stupid is what it is. WQAM, hello.
Yo, Neil, you know, some of these people make me laugh in regards to the locker room and stuff like that, but who really cares? If you're the way I look at it, if you're confident in your sexuality, it don't matter who's around or what it's around. The one thing I wanted to make a comment about Tim Hardaway that kind of made me laugh is that what people should do is really hit him where it hurts and hit him in his pocket. Don't go to his car wash. Don't go to his Popeye's chicken, and let him see that being an arrogant person, or excuse me, not arrogant, being ignorant will really hurt you some way or another. So have all the hate you want, and maybe it will take it away from his pocket. Have a great day, Neil.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, he already lost that one contract with that Baldies, whatever that guy was, Bald Eagle guy.
And he's not going to do TV no more, right?
Really?
The NBA, and he's not. He was an NBA analyst, and they're not going to let him
maybe
do
that's what
that.
this is all about. If he was an analyst, maybe that kind of like shines a spotlight in the right area, rectum or something. 1,058 votes on the poll, but he sure gave everybody lots to talk about. I'll say that. You know, he opened up a big stupid mouth, as if there's something unusual in sports, opening up a big stupid mouth. Because most jocks are morons. Okay, not all of them. There's some very bright guys. Remember Bill Bradley, who ran for president, even though he spoke with kind of like a speech defect.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a very bright guy, NBA basketball player, Bill Bradley. Remember?
Yep.
And there have been a few very educated athletes, and some have actually graduated college and get a degree and maybe attended a few classes and had some textbooks. But generally speaking, sports is not for highly educated folks. I'm talking about playing in it. It's for the, like, dumb, like, give me the ball, that kind of crap. Slam-a-jam of this.
The biggest names,
Slam it
the
and jam
best
it.
talent.
Let's go.
This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Ark Morgan, it's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
First thing I said when my plane finally landed, glad to be home. Next thing I said to my best friend was, let's get us some. We drank some beer, hooked up with some babes. Seemed like life would finally be kind of sane. Then I got a letter of big surprise, something I could not believe. I had to go back to that place where they shooted me, leave all the comforts of home. A place where they enjoy killing each other, don't know if anything can be done. Their tour of duty is pretty insane, but it's you that we're doing it for. Got to go back to the war.
12:01 at 560 WQAM. Hip-hop diva Foxy Brown has something new to rap about from the Broward County Jail. You see this story?
No.
After being charged with throwing hair glue and spitting at a beauty shop supply store employee and then taking a swing at a cop.
Well,
Foxy's a little bit out of control, it sounds, alleged. The latest legal run-in for the 20-year-old resident of Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey, began last night, when Brown, whose real name is Ingrid Marchand, was utilizing beauty products inside the bathroom at Queen Beauty Supply, 120-105 Pembroke Road. Around 9 p.m., owner Haysam Goyam, told Brown to leave because he was closing. He said Brown refused and hurled insults at him and then threw the hair glue. The platinum-selling rapper then became completely unglued. She spit on Gonsham, whatever his name is, Ghanam, when he went to the phone to dial 911. The rapper left the store, but police caught up to her outside the shopping plaza. Officer D. Cuba asked her to return to the shop with him, but she refused and swatted the officer's hand away, the report said. She swatted at him, like a fly swatter. I sure hope she didn't swat at his fly. She then swung at the officer and fought with him. Cuba said in his report that he was forced to take her down to gain control because she had swung at him. He took her down. No one was injured. Foxy, a Brooklyn native whose first hit, Il Nana album, was a high school anthem for 1996. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, I am. That's my high school days.
Really? Well,
Yes.
that's why I asked. Il Nana. What is that?
That's the name.
No, I know that, but I mean, what is it all about? Well,
Something I can't say on the radio.
Really? Something dirty? Something sub rosa?
Well, the song itself, not,
Oh. Anyway, she's being held at the Broward County Jail in lieu of $1,500 bond on resisting officers with violence and battery charges. Not the first time she's been arrested for spitting. Ooh, fat. Foxy was accused at age 17 of spitting on hotel workers in Raleigh, North Carolina, because they told her an iron was not available. A resolution of the case was not immediately known. A little bit on the temperamental side, I'd say, eh? They didn't have an iron for her to iron out her difficulties, and as a result, she gave him a little, I don't want to do it here. I don't want to spit on the microphone. It would be like that, or maybe more like... Yeah, more like that. I could do that now, well, maybe a couple of days ago. In 2004, she was accused of assaulting 2 nail salon workers in a closing time fracas over a $20 manicure and pedicure. I got the pedicure, but they didn't give me the manicure, she said. She's got issues, baby, as they say. She's got issues. Brown later pleaded guilty to misdemeanor assault charges. In that case, admitted using her cell phone and fisting the attack at New York's Bloomy Nails. She was sentenced to 3 years probation. Rapper fun. Now, I'll tell you, that'll make you gay if you go into a place and get a manicure. Do guys go in and get manicured?
I've heard that they do. I've heard rumors. I don't know if those are gay guys. I couldn't tell you.
That sounds very, very
gay
to me.
Yeah.
Rapper Foxy Brown, whose real name is, they just got through saying that.
Right.
Oh, look at this. This is the Sun Sentinel. They repeated like several paragraphs of the story. I just got through reading this, and he still had to take her down. You're going down, honey. Sounds like she's got some real problems. Problemi. That's the way it goes. Let's take some more of those great calls now. Let's hear about Tim Hardaway and the guys looking at each other in a shower, and it's the same as guys going into a ladies' shower. It's just stupid, you know? And this, again, is the presumption of hostility among all men are out-of-control sexual animals, and if they see somebody that they find sexually attractive, they're going to attack them, they're going to be intimidating. It's just a wuss attitude is what it is. It's just childish. It's pathetic. I mean, I think back to those days when we were taking showers together in gym class in high school. I mean, were they going to exclude me because I was some kind of a pansy? I was looking. What are you laughing about? I was looking. And did it harm anybody? I mean, this business of being afraid of being looked at, that just really cracks me up.
But were you
looking
staring?
At me? I beg your pardon. Yeah, that's right. They were staring at him with that nasty gay gaze. That's why they call it a gaze. Gaze. Gay. They were gazing at them because their body parts were exposed to it. You're just a childish man. You're pathetic. All you're doing is just making excuses for your own bigotry and stupidity is all. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
And buenas to you.
I don't just like body wash. I love it.
Do you? Okay, good. There's a guy. He doesn't just like it. He loves it, which means...
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it, too, as a matter of fact. I mean, you know, I love Josh Cordes. I love everybody. I'm just a lovable kind of guy these days. Just goes with the territory, I guess. He don't just like it. He loves it. He's just trying to make a statement. Maybe Tim Hardaway will cause a lot of people to come out of the closet now, although like Amaechi said, I don't think so. I think he's going to cause them to go back in. They're going to be racing back in. There's going to be a big crowd in there once again because of his stupidity. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? I just want to say a couple points to these idiots who are calling your show and gay bashing. They don't have a clue about biology. First of all, when it comes to biology, there's nothing written in stone, okay? You got hermaphrodites who come with both parts. And if they did their homework, they'd realize that every person who's born on this planet is born a female until certain factors make a decision between the two. So I think they should go do their homework before they realize, you know, that they're morons when they...
Morons don't do homework, sir. Morons, don't confuse them with the facts. They're not going to do any homework.
You're absolutely right, sir.
And have a great day. And, of course, all those evil animals, you know, all those, they're going to burn in hell. All those homosexual animals, all through the mammal kingdom, there are homosexuals. But, you know, and since the beginning of recorded time, must be just evil people. I read a lot of those letters in the, like I said, in the Greg Kotek's blog in the Herald this morning, and just enough to make you vomit. The kind of sputum that people come up with. And, you know, I have no toleration for that kind of crap. That kind of crap. In a world just filled with hate, God forbid that there should be any two people, forget who they are, who actually have any kind of positive feelings to each other, you know? Who might put their arm around each other, like to give them a hug or hold somebody's hand. It's just doing something positive to somebody else. Oh, and God only knows what they're doing in the bedroom. And like I always say, why is it your business? Why do you care? It would be like my worrying about what heterosexual people are doing in their bedroom. What do I care? What is that to me? Why does that affect my life? Well, I mean, what is that for me to worry about? Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, we're back up on the streaming. We only had 26 dropouts. This place, man, there's no point to it, and it's never going to change, and I keep saying it only because it keeps my sanity, but this place is just, it never ceases to amaze. WQAM, hello. What is that? Okay. I think he's got the phone stuck in his throat. QAM, hello.
Neil, Tim Hardaway sees gay people. He sees gay people.
WQAM, hello.
Neil, when you were pooping your pants.
Well, you were, pooping your pants, yeah. WQAM, hello. Not there. They're good. I told you, Josh, they're better than ever today. WQAM all week long. QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay, sir.
As far as the whole Hardaway thing is concerned, I got a totally different outtake if you give me a second.
The whole what thing? Oh, Hardaway. I remember him, yeah.
I got a different outtake. It's kind of, I like the fact that he came out and said something because it shows how people have not really changed, and hopefully there will be a change after that. You know what I mean? I sit back and I know it's different, but I'm married to a white woman and I'm black. But we get these stares and you know, all this other stuff still to this day, and we thought things have changed. And
well, see, that's another difference. Now, where do you live?
I live, well, I guess you could say in Coral Springs.
Okay. So you're in South Florida. See, for example, here in Toronto, because they're such a multicultural city, and there are all these people from China and India, you see just zillions of mixed-race couples walking down the streets, you know, like a black guy with a Chinese chick or the other way around. I mean, and nobody pays any attention to it because it's so commonplace that it's no thing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean anything.
Kind of like the Europeans when it comes to nakedness on TV. They don't really care because they see it all the time. But yet,
that is correct.
I'm hoping we can actually change something here, you know, in America, like, or at least within ourselves, because if you think about it, this thing coming out, it gives an opportunity to teachers to go to kids and say, look, that was wrong, and you have to turn it around.
Yeah, but teachers aren't going to do that. That's not going to happen. Because then, no, teachers aren't allowed to do that. Because then, of course, that's when the Christian right starts, you know, rattling their spear and getting all bent out of shape. And you're teaching alternate lifestyles and that's, you know, all this other crap.
You're just telling me we're all doomed.
No, I didn't say we're all doomed, but I mean, it's just going to take a very long time. I mean, we're making little tiny baby steps, and then along comes some big jackass like this and opens up a dumb mouth and opens up all the wounds again. That's all he did, just like John Amaechi said.
You know what, I do understand the whole, you know, about opening up sore wounds, but yet if it wasn't open, no one would be talking about it. Everyone would just not, you know, just continue on being closetly, you know, hateful and all that other stuff, you know what I mean? But anyway, you take care of yourself.
Okay, you too, Pally. 567-0560 and pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. 1,087 votes on the poll. Paper or plastic? Normal or spastic? Can you imagine? Can you even begin to imagine? I could tell you the stories that the people that I have seen and things I've encountered in my life, but I won't. Heterosexual guys, at least alleged, married guys, I'll put it that way, married guys with wedding bands, doing amazing things with other guys. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Do you have any idea? Well, I don't want to get too graphic, but do you have any idea how much of that goes on? How many people, because of cultural pressures, are forced into grotesque marriages that are doomed to fail from the beginning, loveless marriages, into a nightmare life? We did a poll on that one time. In fact, maybe we'll do that again next week, too. About how many people are in the closet and maybe married or going with somebody from the opposite sex because they're pressured into doing it. When are you going to get married already? When are you going to give me some grandchildren? When are you going to do something like normal already?
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Who's going to give Ricky a blow?
A mannequin woman, she is my friend. A mannequin woman, love her to the end. Keep her hanging around my floor. She's ready anytime I want to score. She never says I'm not in the mood. I never gotta cuddle her when I'm through. My woman got nothing to say. My mannequin woman, hey, what a lay. My mannequin woman, white as a sheep. My mannequin woman never falls to sleep. She's coming knocking upon my door to see the girl I found in the clothing store. I feel luckier than most guys when I'm right in the middle of plastic thighs. My woman got nothing to say. A mannequin woman, hey, what a lay.
The ultimate act of desperation, baby, a blow-up doll. But, you know, nevertheless, I guess it works for some people. And they don't talk back, and they're not that expensive. You don't have to take them out and wine them and dine them, stuff like that. All of these things. 1218 at 560 WQAM. 3 major Florida law enforcement groups have joined a growing list of voices advocating changes to the state's gun laws to prevent criminals from legally carrying handguns. Don't mess with my guns, y'all. Leaders of the Florida Sheriff's Association, the Florida Fraternal Order of Police, and the Florida Police Chiefs Association told the Sun Sentinel this week that they will support efforts to tighten eligibility rules for concealed weapons licenses. That's un-American, because America is all about crazy people with lots of guns. The more the merrier. At the same time, the Regional Community Collaboration on Violence, a South Florida organization dedicated to reducing gun violence, said it will make recommendations to the legislature for change. The group is made up of police, prosecutors, politicians, and parents of children slain by firearms in Broward and Dade counties. We're not waiting for more tragedies to happen, said Jeff Gorley, the organization's chairman. The action follows a Sun Sentinel investigation last month that found more than 1,400 Floridians possessed valid concealed weapons licenses, even though they pleaded guilty or no contest to felonies. The crimes included assault, burglary, drug possession, sexual battery, and manslaughter. Sexual battery sounds like something Sally Fitz would know about. Hundreds of others didn't have their firearm licenses suspended or revoked despite warrants for their arrest, domestic violence injunctions, or misdemeanor convictions for reckless acts with guns. Among the licensees, 6 registered sex offenders, a Tampa pizza delivery man wanted for fatally shooting a 15-year-old over a stolen order of chicken wings. Oh, yeah. Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah.
A Tampa pizza delivery man wanted for fatally shooting a 15-year-old over a stolen order of chicken wings, and a Pembroke Pines man who shot his girlfriend in the head as she cooked breakfast. Well, maybe she was cooking up some really nasty grits or something that rhymed with it. You've got some horrendous examples in your story that should not be tolerated, said Leon County Sheriff Larry Campbell, president of the Florida Sheriff's Association. He said the association will push to toughen the law. I'm all for the people's right to carry a firearm, he said, but I'm certainly not for the felon's right to carry one. It's time to make some adjustments, State Police Director Robert Parker said. National Rifle Association, which wields considerable influence in Tallahassee, no kidding, vowed to oppose any revision that excludes people who have not been formally convicted. We do not participate in legislation that gratuitously takes away the rights of people, because when you begin taking away the rights of people that you don't like, that's the slippery slope, said Florida NRA lobbyist Marion P. Hammer. The Hammer, he's speaking. Convicted felons are prohibited in Florida from possessing guns or gun licenses. The more than 1,400 people the Sun Sentinel found with valid gun licenses entered guilty or no contest pleas and commonly served probation but had convictions withheld from their records. Such plea agreements spare defendants from being labeled convicted felons while moving cases faster through the court system. Campbell called the distinction strictly semantics. If you shot somebody with a gun and pleaded guilty or no contest, you're a criminal, he said. House Speaker Marco Rubio, Republican of West Miami, said this month that the legislature could consider creating a special judicial category in which all people sentenced for certain crimes would forfeit the right to carry concealed weapons. Our goal has to be to make sure that dangerous people don't have access to weapons. Oh, that ain't no fun. How can you have anything to talk about on the nightly news if dangerous people don't have a bunch of weapons, right?
That's right.
Like George W. Bush. He's got all the weapons at his disposal he wants. And they don't come no more dangerous than him, than W. 1,101 votes. We just passed 1,100. Oh! I think we ought to have shot at 12 today, don't you? 1,200?
Sure.
Well, if Josh would have been doing his usual pushing and pulling, which I hear is his area of expertise. Oh, speaking of that, is Josh still there or do you leave on us?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You get,
Where do you think I'm going?
Distracted easily. Now, did we get any food in for him today or what?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I went to town today.
Really?
Yeah.
On?
Howie's. Oh, you want to know what I ordered?
Yeah, I'd like a little more specific. I mean, we don't have to get all the grimy, greasy details, but it would be nice.
All right, here I go. I got bacon that I started with.
Yeah.
Then I got grouper fingers with fries.
Grouper fingers, yeah.
And then I ordered a salad.
And a shallot. Well, that sounds... well, with the fries, though, you should have eaten the fries. What is it with everybody in the fries? You know, am I the only sane person in the world?
Yes.
That's what I always tell everybody. I'm the only sane person going.
No, you're the only insane person in the world who doesn't like fries.
I never said I didn't like them, but I don't like them enough that I can't live without them. In other words, I know they're very bad for me, and I eat a lot of other crap that's bad for me. Look, you've always heard me say this, and I'll say it again for the 8 billionth time. If I'm going to eat something, being the diabetic that I'm, if I'm going to cheat and I'm going to eat something that I really shouldn't be eating,
right.
Because certainly potatoes are carbohydrates and they're poison for diabetic. But if I have to choose between like French fries or like maybe a pint of ice cream, which one do you think I'm going to choose?
Well,
Josh.
There you go. Take the ice cream.
Okay. I mean, you just can't be cheating all over the place, and especially when you try to lose some weight and be a little bit svelte and human-looking, which I'm trying desperately to do.
Good luck with that.
What do you mean by that?
What are you down to? You said you're losing some weight, right?
184, by the way, mister. 184. Do you know that's the lowest I've weighed again this morning? It was still 184. Not too bad. That's the lowest I've weighed in more years than I can figure. The last time I remember getting down to it was 186. And that was, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago.
You're doing good, man. Keep it up.
184. Yeah, and go get some fries. Fries are fattening. They're bad for you. They're like deep fried.
You just can't, you can't eat carbs, man.
Let me say it again. If I'm going to eat carbs, I'd much rather have my low-carb pasta, which still, affects my... But I love it. Don't you understand?
I understand.
Slice up a couple of weenies and put them in my sauce there, my low-carb sauce. Get some nice Parmesan, or as somebody would say, Parmesan cheese, and sprinkle it all over the place. That's a good meal. That's good for you. It's not bad for you. But French fries are bad for you. They're deep-fried. Can I say it's like corn dogs? You ever have a corn dog?
Yeah. Not a big
corn
fan.
dogs are for rednecks.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
You know what else are for rednecks? Biscuits. Biscuits and gravy. Now, do we have any Hardee's? We've been through this a million times. I guess we do have a Hardee's somewhere in South Florida. Not too many of them.
Not South Florida.
Tampa, I know they're all over the
place.
place.
Yeah, they're all over Tampa. Orlando too,
I believe.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the good stuff doesn't come to South Florida. They understand. They don't want to participate in all the bad taste. But Hardee's is good, and I like their shroom burger and that stuff, and whatever. But them biscuit and gravy stuff, man, that ain't for me. That is strictly for rednecks. Oh, brother.
I don't mind a little biscuits and butter. But
oh, you know the biscuits I'm talking about, the real mealy ones, They're like, nothing worse. The only thing worse than mealy muffins is a mealy mouth.
I like me a nice soft biscuit. I mean, I'll eat, but biscuits and gravy, I don't
like a nice soft one?
That's right.
1,108 votes on the poll. I do love you, though. Just keep that in mind. How did that all start? I have no idea how that came up. It was kind of fun. Well, it was, I think, when you were still doing the show,
Yes.
And I was trying to differentiate. I was trying to point out to you that I like you a lot. You're a good guy, but I don't love you. I mean, like I'll say I love Hank. I love Hank as a friend. I'm almost saying there are varying degrees of love. You know precisely what I'm talking about. You can't love everybody deeply and affectionately and care, You follow what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're the one that started all of this. That sure as hell hoping doesn't get me into any trouble, okay? I'm just finally getting my life put back together, and you're starting with this love crap, okay? I don't love anybody. How's that? I don't love anybody. Don't love me. Just put up with me. That's all. Don't love me. Like my father used to say, there's no such thing as love. It's just a word. I tell you, and you wonder why I'm as cold as ice, as stone? That's the kind of environment I grew up in. I will do that show about my childhood one day on the air. In fact, if Josh is lucky, maybe you'll be in there on that day. You won't even believe it. How do you like that line?
Sit-in.
How do you like that line from a parent? He said it on several occasions. There's no such thing as love. It's just a word. That was my father, my dad. Isn't that touching?
No.
Cold as the Arctic.
Hi there, you bastard.
Are you ready for some football? Then tune in to ESPN Gay.
And he hits the hole right after Jesse opens it up.
Oh, yeah. ESPN Gay.
Like to pack that guy around, too.
Cowboys, Bears, Vikings, Packers. You'll get them all on ESPN Gay.
He's going to fire into his guy right here.
Feel the sweat.
You push, you push, you push.
Smell the passion.
You just rode him backwards. Just put him right on his back.
This ain't some makeover show on Bravo. It's the NFL on ESPN Gay.
And then everyone's kind of slopping around down there and grunting and groaning. And, you get mud and stuff flying and gang tackles and scrums and quagmires.
ESPN Gay, where there's never a wardrobe malfunction.
I don't know where that one came from.
Sundays will never be the same.
That looked like it was the last shot out of the Roman candle.
Call your cable operator now and demand ESPN Gay.
Look at that big old lump. Oh, what a meal those guys are having.
That looks good. ESPN Gay. Now that's a mouthful.
That's a gay club, you moron.
No question about it. Just the concept of guys taking showers naked together in the first place, forget about what their sexual diddling is. Yeah, just the concept of that seems awfully gay to me. I could be wrong about that.
No, you're right.
Just based on in addition to which he's looking at me and what the only reason I think that anybody would be upset about that is maybe we're like extraordinarily underendowed. That would be embarrassing, But other than that, who cares? So what if they are looking at you? Well, why are you threatened by that? Wuss. That's the operative word. Wuss. 5670560 pound 560 in the Verizon Singular Wireless line. But above and beyond all the Hardaway business, that thing this morning it just got me. If you tuned in late, I'm listening to Kenny and Bo before our show this morning. George, of course, is out sick today, or at least with his family is all sick, and he's not here today. So he didn't come in, and I get a chance to listen to about an hour of their show, or whatever it was. And the guy calls in, And goes and again, this coming out now because of the Hardaway thing yesterday, and so the Amaechi comments are right on target. All this did is open up an avenue for people to unleash their hostility and their intolerance and their hate. And the guy tells about how he took his family, including his kid. He didn't say how many kids he had or how old they were. He didn't mention that. Probably about 18. Who knows? But to Disney last summer. And it was during the, they don't call it Gay Days anymore. They call it something, whatever.
Pride Day.
No, is that it?
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Cry Day or Pride Day? For him, it was Cry Day. And they're walking around through Disney, and all of a sudden he sees two guys holding hands, and there's another guy with his arm around another guy, and his kid is there with him. He feels so uncomfortable about this, and why didn't they tell him and warn him, and oh, my God. And that was the conversation. And, of course, Kenny and Boris saying, oh, yeah, well, they should have told you, and they should have, you should have known if you're offended by this. Look, if you're offended by anything, don't leave the house. That's my best suggestion. Just like the guy that called before who's black and he's got the white wife or whatever he was talking about. If you're offended by multiracial couples, don't leave the house. If you're offended by guys who are effeminate and walk swishy, don't leave the house. If you're offended by people who smell bad or maybe dress real sloppy like me, don't leave the house. That's my suggestion for you. Part of living is being offended. And as you live and become more tolerant, more intelligent, more understanding, and have more experiences, you become less offended because you realize that it ain't no thing. It's nothing. Why do you care if there are two guys walking down the street holding their hands? And I realized that, up until, I don't know how many years ago, but I've traveled a lot through Europe. You see that all over Europe very commonly. But until I started seeing it more often, I felt a little like queasy, even though I'm, of course,
gay.
Like that, What? Well, yeah, I mean, because it's something you didn't see. Don't you understand?
No, I understand.
So it makes you feel like, oh, gee, what's that all about? People are going to be looking at that. Because you feel the negativity being directed at you because of what they're doing. It's like my feelings about the pride parades, many of them. It's embarrassing to me because I don't want to be lumped in with that. That's not who or what I am. I'm not all about that, which I'm not condemning those people. They can dress it up and have all. They're just having fun, that's all. And yuck it up, but they're creating a really bad stereotype, just like the media does. Whether it was Paul Lynde or Charles Nelson Riley, almost every gay person on television up until just a very few short years ago was some mincing, flaming, wild queen. And that's what gay was all about. Just like the blacks on television. Same thing in the movies. It's all the Stephen Fetchit routine. Yes, sir, Mr. Benny. Yes, sir, Mr. That kind of crap. And, of course, it's Hispanics. It's always, poncho and whatever. That kind of garbage. You know what I'm saying?
Incredible.
You know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Well, what do you know about minorities anyway? Either one of you.
What do you mean?
Well, what minority are you a part of?
None, really.
Yeah, and Chris?
Well,
fat people.
We are kind of starting to become a minority in Dade County.
That's true. Yeah, Chris is the minority in Kendall.
In Dade County. I know a couple of people live in Dade County, and they speak in English. Multilingual and multi-talented. WQAM, hello. QAM. Well, listen to that. I love that. I guess they got the tapes going there. Maybe they got their own studio set up. Who knows what that was all about. WQAM, hello. Go on, keep ringing it. You can do it. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Neil. Listen, I just want to share something with you. I'm MySpace friend number 344.
Yes?
And just wanted to say I used to work for the county as a medical examiner. I used to work as a crime scene tech. And to give you some insight on Dr. Perper there, he's a very hermit crabbish man. Stays in his office all day and only comes out and does...
Well, if you had half your head missing, you'd probably not go out very much either.
True. He has no life, and he only comes out and does maybe one or two cases a week. That's it. And then he only comes out and does high-profile stuff, too. So, very strange character, very quiet character.
Never heard a fly, though.
No, except for on the table.
Like Tony Perkins in Psycho, right?
Exactly. He has this whole new American Psycho. Has this whole other side to him.
Okay, well, thanks for the insight, Pally, whatever that means. Now, wait till you hear this. Somebody just faxed this to us. This is pathetic. This is tragic. Oh, no. Viewers of the 700 Club will have the pleasure of the company of sports superstar Tim Hardaway. The superstar was contacted by Pat Robertson on Friday, today, in a show of support for his comments on the evils of homosexuality, and Hardaway agreed to be a guest on the 700 Club. So all this business about apologizing and sucking up and trying to cover up all his business contacts and his deals, evidently that he forgot about that overnight. In other news, a recent report says children between 12 and 17 are the most frequent viewers of Internet pornography. And the average age of first-time exposure to Internet porn is just 11 years old. The state of Virginia is taking new steps to protect your kids from online predators, and Virginia's Attorney General Bob McDonnell is leading the charge. And this is on the CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network website. Tim Hardaway will be on the 700 Club with Pat Robertson. Another, birds of a feather are crazy together. How do you like that? What does that tell you? So all this business about how he was apologetic and bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-ba. I mean, where could he find a more open venue to outlet his hostility and homophobia than with Pat Robertson and with these Farbissina Goyim? Where else could he go?
Nowhere. Sounds like a winner.
Yeah, it sounds like he's got a whole new niche. Maybe he's going to run for office, something like that. On the homophobe ticket, the H ticket. Well, I sure want to be alerted to when the hell that comes on, the 700 Club. I bet you he's going to be really good. And then he can talk about taking showers with all them faggots and all them staring at his goods and stuff like that. First of all, Tim, you're ugly as sin, number one, and who the hell wants to see what you got anyway? Ugly as sin.
All right.
I like that, too. See, one of the things about the NBA is most 7-foot-tall people are freaks. Am I right?
Well, yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying. They're freaks of nature. I mean, nature doesn't make too many 7-foot-tall people. And so as a result, they tend to look very disproportionate, and their features are very, they're generally extraordinarily ugly people.
Well, they're a little goofy.
I'm not talking about their behavior. I'm just talking about what they look like. It's not like there's a lot of hot NBA basketball players. They generally tend to be extraordinarily ugly, is what I'm telling you. So the idea that there's a bunch of sex pots running around and every fag is running to the NBA, I mean, what does that mean? It's like if I go to a hockey game, and there's plenty, I mean, there's lots of real hot-looking hockey players. Is that dangerous that I'm sitting there looking at them? I'm not going in the shower with them. Even my old buddy Ray Whitney never let me go in the shower with him, and boy, I sure would have liked to, but that's beside the point. And he wasn't terrified of me. As a matter of fact, the interesting thing about guys who are comfortable with their sexuality, they find it amusing. They don't care. They're not uptight about it. It's like guys I joke with online here on this stuff. And make all kinds of wisecracks and jokes. They know what it's all about. They know it's just kidding around, and they're not threatened by it. If you know what you are and you're all about, you're not threatened. If you're insecure about your own, what's it all about, then you got real problems. Then you're the one who needs serious help.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Play like men and they look like women.
Hey, man.
Hey, who's this?
It's Jeff. Hey, I was in your restaurant, and it smelled like Up Dog.
What is Up Dog?
I don't know. What's up, G? Yo, yo, yo. Get it?
No.
Okay.
Richard speaking. Would you like to place a catering order?
Hey, Richard.
Yes.
I was in your restaurant, my wife and I, and she was commenting, as I was, that it smelled like Up Dog.
Like what?
Up Dog.
What is Up Dog?
Nah, what's up with you, G? Get it?
Arriba, hello?
Yeah, hi, Gesundheit. Hey, I was in your place, and it smelled like Up Dog.
What's up, dog?
Not much. What's up with you, G?
Yeah, what's up, dog? What's happening, dog? Yeah, not much, yo.
I'm busy. What do you want?
Your place smelled like Up Dog.
Okay, bye.
Get it?
Taco.
Yeah, hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey, I was in your place, and it smelled like Up Dog.
What is Up Dog?
I don't know. What's up with you, G? Get it?
14-1, Pat Robertson and Tim Hardaway, a marriage made in purgatory. I love it. Birds of a feather, spew hate together. 5670560 and pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes.
Hey, I just wanted to, am I on the air?
Sounds like you, yeah.
Oh, geez, what a retard I am. Great to talk to you. I want to make a couple comments about old Mr. Hardaway. My kids went to the same school as his daughter, and he is, by far, him and his wife, two of the most ignorant people you've ever met in your life. He not only hates gays, he hates grammar badly. But what I wanted to laugh at was the latest apology that came out. If you read it, I mean, it sounds like it was crafted by, you know, a Harvard-educated author,
Right.
and it is the
He
funniest
didn't
thing in the
write
world.
it. His agent wrote it. You know that.
Oh, you know, I mean, they needed to tone that down a little bit. If you've ever seen him on TV as a sportscaster, you know, they should have dumbed that down to about third grade level with Matt to make it believable at all.
Yeah, well, he said he hates gay peoples, you know, so it's one of them things. Thanks.
Yeah, well, he's a retard, Neil. I love you.
Thanks,
you.
Pally. Okay.
Bye-bye.
So in other words, he ain't too bright. He ain't the brightest bulb in the pack is what the guy's trying to say, as if we, you know, figure that out. 11:49 on the poll. We'll make 1,200 easy. In fact, if Josh would have really gotten back into his old form, we could have probably made 13 today if he really pushed it heavy duty. But you know what? We don't care anymore.
Okay.
Since you're not on the show anymore, we just, you know, we don't do those things. Chris, of course, being heavy duty as he is, especially the heavy part, he just doesn't have the energy to get on the air. Come on, let's get that, you know, like you used to do. Not. It doesn't make any difference. We got, what did I say? 1,201 MySpace friends? Oh,
That's
and the bad news is that Jerry, the ebullient guy, did not remove himself from there. Maybe I'll just remove you myself, Jerry, because you're a jackass. And he writes this pseudo-intellectual response about, well, if I'm worried about things like, get lost, okay? It's just for fun, that's all, just for a little bit of fun and whatever. But some of these people with their, I can't deal with people like that. Like the ones who call and tell me how to do the show and don't read the news stories and don't do this. I'm doing okay so far for a doddering old fart. How do you like that? I go to the bank twice a month on the 10th and 25th, and believe you me, just like I did this morning on the throne, I make a very ample deposit, okay? A very healthy deposit. Trust me when I tell you. Not missing any meals. Although I probably should miss some meals, get down to about 170. Boy, you'll be proud of me. I'll be dangerous when I get down to 170. I look just like Brady Quinn. Now, Josh was telling me before the show today, Brady Quinn is a real stud, is what he said. No, you didn't say that. But you did see him where?
I saw him at I was at Radio Row all week of the week before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We were doing all of the shows down there.
And was he like naked or something or not?
No, he was in, you know, like a
He didn't let the media come in there and like take a shower with him or watch him take a shower?
No. He said he hates gays. I'm just kidding.
No, he did not. Brady Quinn did not say. Don't even start something like that,
it was
man.
a
That
joke.
is bad. Yeah, some joke.
In light of what's going on.
Yeah, in light of what's going on, the less said, the better. Believe you me. Brady Quinn did not say he's a good Catholic boy from Notre Dame, and he loves everybody. I'm sure of that, and I love him. I love him. I mean, in a more personal and very up-close way. In fact, let me go back to our homepage. I very seldom fly onto our homepage anymore because I'm always on our private page. You know, I got all kinds of private pages. Just like Mark Foley had private pages. I never had that kind, though. We got Shave Everywhere on there. We have that story right under the poll. We got a link to that, Shave Everywhere. And then interestingly enough, do you think it's just by accident? Right under that thing where it says Saddam Hussein execution video and Neil Elfing himself, it's got the Brady Quinn picture where he's on the phone, you know, and some other guy's there. Now, let's see. Is the other guy holding the football? Yeah. I wonder if the other guy's like almost as naked as Brady is in that picture. Uh-oh, I wonder what that means. Maybe they just came out of the shower together. But anyway, Brady got a call. He's on the phone. And he's standing there in his blue walking shorts. They're not in fact, just like the kids today. He's got the shorts down like, not as low as the kids do.
Just like the kids today.
Yeah,
sorry, that was funny.
That wear their shorts around their pants down to their ankles. You think that when I grew up we wore our pantaloonies down around our ankles like a bunch of gangsters?
No, that wasn't the style.
No. So in other words, I'm dating myself because saying like the punks today, where that's the way they do, man.
I know.
In fact, you walk away into the mall and you see them all walking around like that, and you think their pants are going to drop right on the floor in a second. You're thinking, gee, I sure hope so. Well, some of them. Some of them you hope so. But anyway, there's Brady, and talk about shaving everywhere. I mean, he is... You should have asked him that. Now, did you get to speak to him or anything? They didn't let you anywhere near him.
No, like I said, we were going to try to get I was going to try to pull off a drop for you if I could. You know, maybe like a nice 12 to 1 hour.
That would have been lovely.
But, yeah, his entourage was pretty...
They had him well protected, man. They had him guarded. They had his body protected because I guarantee you, there are a lot of people that want him. They want to claw him and paw him and do all kinds of God only knows what kinds of things to him. I know I sure do. But anyway, he has done the, what were you guys trying to tell me about the waxy, whatever he's done? Either the Norelco deal. He has shaved every hair, of course, as far down as we can see, because you do see his boxer shorts, and then you see the regular walking shorts he's got on. Are those walking shorts, or is that part of like a... Yeah, those are just walking shorts, not part of it like a athletic thing, like an athletic supporter. You think he's wearing a jock strap underneath those boxers?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, it should be interesting to find out. I'm sure the audience would be very interested. Brady Quinn could be the next Dolphin quarterback. I mean, I know he's no... what's it called that we had before? That you had before, excuse me. That was a Freudian slip. Well, you name any of them the last several years.
Everybody since Dan Marino, you mean?
That's that. Now you're talking. I was just going to say that. He's not even no David Woodley. I can't believe David Woodley is dead. It just bothers me tremendously. How old was he when he died? He was a young guy.
Yeah.
And then he got like some kind of jaundice or something, and his skin turned yellow, and he died. Very young guy, David Woodley. He was a good-looking guy, not a great quarterback. Now, didn't he play in one Super Bowl, David Woodley? Or
yes, he did.
Which one was that? 84?
83 maybe? 84?
No, 84. You're right.
Before, yeah.
You're right.
See, I know. Just like that guy said before, how can you be a queer and you go on here and you know all the sports
how
stuff?
do you do that?
I don't know. You know, it's the same magic wand that he used to pull up those Godfather clips. See, that's how it works like that. So anyway, I got back on here. I haven't looked at these pictures in a long time. Brady Quinn. There's the one below, which quite frankly is a little bit... He looks too ripped in that other one, man. That's just too much for me. Too much to handle, so to speak. But in the upper one, where he's on the phone looking very innocent, and I don't know why you say he's an ugly guy.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, stop. No, don't start with... look, I would have thought that since...
he's like, honestly...
that you'd have made a little bit of a comment.
Honestly, I think he's...
Yes,
I think he's on roids. The guy's a monster. I mean,
I'm not talking about how big he is. He's 6'4". He's obviously very well developed. He's worked out a lot. He's been working it out, I'm sure. He can be. And who is he working it out with? Anybody he wants, believe me. But I'm not talking about that. You saw him close and personal. Was he a good-looking guy, or is he like a retard looking? Honest answer now. Come on.
I don't know what to tell you. We've had this conversation.
So in other words, even after all this passage of time, 2 years on this show, and then a little bit of reprieve to clear your mind, and you still don't have the ability to pass judgment on whether or not some guy, a very famous guy, a famous, hot-built, great athletic guy.
I can tell he's a very built, like he's a big guy. He's built. I don't know if he's a good-looking guy.
Tim Hardaway's a big guy, so what does that mean? Is he a hot-looking guy?
Timmy Hardaway's a big guy. Tim Hardaway, like he's like my size.
He's a basketball player.
Yeah, but Hardaway is probably 5'10".
Tim Hardaway's like 5'10", dude. I'm 5.
Like I said, is a big guy.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. See, I don't know from Tim Hardaway's what he looks like, nor do I care.
Where'd that sports knowledge go?
Sports and the NBA are incompatible. One has nothing to do with the other. Okay, give me the ball, give me the ball. He's got a bunch of 7-foot guys. Now, he would be an exception because, like you said, if he's only 5'10", how many other shrimps are in the league like that? Most guys are like 6'10", 6'11", 7'1", right?
Yeah.
You bet. And so the basket is 10 feet from the floor, so the idea of a 7-foot tall guy being able to jump enough to slam a jam at a ball in the basket, to me is not great athletic talent. It's not a big deal, you know?
How do you know that? You're gay.
That's right. I forgot about that. Like I said, I haven't got any idea what it's all about. I'm sorry.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
God, Burrell. And when I'm up in Boca Chica slapping old women with painted lips around the pool, I listen to the Neil Rogers 1 to 2 hour. I listen to the Neil Rogers Fair and Balanced 1 to 2 hour.
They're hot. They're sexy. They're muscular. They're on national tour. They're the Chippendales. And they're gay.
I've got a pimple on my ass.
Oh, Sal, could you come over here and grease me up? Oh, I hate those women. They're always so touchy-feely.
They're the Chippendales, and they're gay.
It's, what is it, 12:59? Or it's almost 1 o'clock. It's close enough. I must have taken the break a little bit early, a little premature evaluation. Or was that one of the ones that had the live spot by somebody who's on the air at 5 o'clock in the morning on the log?
No, I guess you went a little.
Well, what's the story with this Chris guy that does the log? That's the new traffic guy. What's his story? Is he like that a little bit? Now, isn't he the guy that thought you had his office, Josh?
No. You're talking about the copywriter, Chris Hudspeth.
Right.
He's gone. He doesn't work here anymore.
Yeah, this other one is Christian.
Christian is the
Christian. Is he a good Christian? I sure hope so. There's nothing worse than a bad Christian.
We'll get him on the 700 Club.
Yeah, with Pat Robertson and Tim Hardaway, who's not very tall. I thought Tim Hardaway, being an NBA player, would be a big guy, and I never really paid any attention. I've seen his puss in the articles, you know.
No, he's a seal.
Face. Yeah, you little simp. Oh, maybe that's why he's just jealous. Now I'm beginning to understand it, because you can only imagine those 6'11" and 7-foot guys in the showers naked. And this guy, I guarantee he don't measure up. Oh, now I'm starting to put the pieces of this all together. It sounds like jealousy to me. Breaking news on CNN.
And I'm Don Lemon. The Anna Nicole Smith drama this afternoon in the newsroom. The release of the will. What's in it and who is the executor?
What's more important, Neil's will or Anna Nicole's will?
Tim Hardaway's hate message to gays.
Yes?
Your will. Your will going to be on CNN breaking news?
Oh, yes.
I live in that glass house. I've cheated 10 million times, and I'll admit it straight up, dude. I've done it 10 million times, lived to pay for it, and lived to walk away from it. So we've all been there.
So much for cheaters never win. What do fans think about the NASCAR scandal?
I couldn't care less about the NASCAR scandal or Anna Nicole or whatever that. But the Hardaway thing I care a little bit about. Not a whole lot, but it makes for good radio. Which do you bathe with? That's our pool. We got 1175. We'll easily make the... there's Anna Nicole when she was alive, looking pretty skanky there.
$1 billion
Not looking really all that good.
Who's named in the Anna Nicole Smith will?
We
After
can't wait.
A week of speculation,
yes.
we will find out today.
Now there's another reason to keep living, okay, is that sometime today we'll find out who's named Anna Nicole's will. And sometime, there's my friend Susan Candiotti. She is so sweet. She's such a nice person. I keep saying that because a lot of you people think I don't like anybody, which isn't true. But I like Susan a lot.
In probate, as they say.
There she is. She's a great lady. Which do you bathe with? 1175 will do 1200 easy because Josh is working with us today because George is out with his sick family nursing everybody. Now, speaking of taking a day off, let me ask you this. I originally was going to take off today, and then, of course, I changed my plans because I'm not going anywhere this weekend. But Monday is a holiday, kind of make-believe holiday. Now, is that a real holiday? Do people... it's President's Day, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This Monday, February 19th. So a lot of people have a 3-day weekend, and some people are going away for the long weekend, which more power to them, have a great time, et cetera, and so on. And I don't know we're working.
Correct.
The people in the building had an option. They could have either not showed up the last holiday, whatever it was on a Monday.
MLK.
Martin Luther King Day.
That's it. And but I didn't come to work that day, so I'll be here Monday.
And I'll be here Monday in this chair, pooping my pants, and Chris will be there in his chair on Monday, and I bet you George will be back on Monday, we hope.
Yeah, well, Chris doesn't get holidays.
And I noticed that Kenny and Bo aren't going to be on Monday morning. They're going to be busy on the 700 Club with Tim Hardaway, I'm sure. And Geldy is going to be, brother, like I said, I'm thinking about that day being a holiday, See, I don't know technically what the deal is, because you know me, I don't like sick days, and I don't like that whole deal. In fact, this whole week, I could have taken 1 or 2 sick days when I was choking and gagging and puking, and not to pat myself on the back, but I'll do it anyway, right in this spot here where it feels pretty good. I just don't like doing that. I like showing up. You know what Bruce Beasley says? I believe in an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. And I'd have to put in an awful lot of days' work for the kind of money they're paying me, so I'll show up. Which do you bathe with? I'm a male, and I use soap, 584. It is down under 50%, 49.7. As the Anna Nicole Smith hearing drags into the 3rd day, and she's starting to smell really skanky now, worse than usual. Nasty. Woo! Can you imagine?
No.
Like I told George, that scene in Silence of the Lambs where they got the dead body, and he's putting whatever that stuff is. He said it was Vicks, which is very amusing. But they have stuff that they put in their nose to cover up the smell so it doesn't burn the lining of your nose because of the nasty, rank, decomposing body, the carcass. Anyway, soap, 584, 49.7%. Body wash, guys, 402, 34.2%. So you guys are very slow, okay? It's obviously a cultural thing, a phobia kind of thing. Believe me, get you a sponge or a loofah or a washcloth and a bottle of real manly body wash. You'll never go back to soap again. Real manly. Like one of those, like maybe even Old Spice. People that use Old Spice, man, something wrong with them. I seldom bathe, 74. Female uses body wash, 50. I hate this poll, 35, only 2.9%, unlike yesterday when they hated it. They hated that poll. And Josh is not too happy that we're doing this again, by the way, because he's been there and done this before. And female uses soap has got...
About 30, man.
So the females, 50 to 30 for the body wash, but the guys, almost 50% to 34% still with the soap. Goes to show you, guys are very insecure. Oh, you're in the shower staring at, and so what about it? Big deal. 5670560, pound 5. In fact, let me put it this way. If I ever thought, which I never have because I never looked all that good, but if I ever thought that I looked good enough for people to stare at me because I was a sex object, I'd be pretty pleased about that, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
By anybody. I mean, I wouldn't care who it was. I wouldn't care if it was like animals. I mean, staring at me like, oh, look at that. Mm-hmm. You know, if Mark Foley was looking at me going, like that, I'd think, well, you're pretty desperate, Mark. But nevertheless, you see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with lusting after somebody. What the hell difference does it make? Why are you so uptight, Timmy? What is it that you're not telling us about, okay? I wouldn't be surprised if him and Pat Robertson do it right on the air. Wouldn't surprise me. Talk about the Royal Canadian Mounties, man. God only knows what's going to be happening. Talk about Doogie Howser doing a Doogie style. One can only begin to imagine what's going to happen on the 700 Club. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Happy Friday to you.
Back to you.
Listen, I don't know if this is too crude or gross to talk about, but
probably.
But it's the Neil Rogers show, so what are you going to do? I always heard about the smell of a dead body, and I never was exposed to it until I moved into this apartment. The guy before me had hung himself.
Oh, nice.
Have you ever?
Before he was hung.
Exactly. And have you ever owned a house and fertilized the grass with that granulated, like 666 fertilizer?
Oh, sure, yeah. The Antichrist fertilizer, right.
And then watered it?
Get a lot of those devil weeds.
Yeah, it's like, and it's the strangest, and that's why people say, you know, it's its smell that they never forget. Anyway, that's what me. Most people like Miss Nicole is.
Yeah, she ain't smelling too good right now. I'll guarantee you that.
All right, happy Friday.
And back to you, Pally. Okay. Well, the guy before he moved in there was hung. 1180 on the poll. 1180 keeps coming up. WHAM or Rochester. Let me tell you the story again about Bob Turner and those hockey tickets. Oh, not. See, that's another part of the problem growing old. Is like when I go to my mother for lunch every week, every Tuesday, and she would start out by telling me the same thing she had told me the week before. I mean, you know, not that she was senile or anything like that, or if she was, it was like for the last 30 years of her life because it was always the same. That never changed. That was a constant. It was a given. And I'd say, you already told me that last week. And, oh, did I? And then she'd go on and, you know, keep going and tell me the same thing all over again. And that's, I think, what I'm doing. Although, with us, I think we have like maybe a little bit of a shifting audience with the tremendous promotion we get here on QAM. You know, we have all these new people coming aboard that haven't heard all my nifty stories about, you know, pooping in my pants and stuff like that. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you've heard them all. I mean,
I've heard them.
Yeah, you've heard them all. Well, I'll just make up some new ones. How's that?
Okay, deal.
WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes?
Is this Neil Rogers?
Yes, sir.
Neil, I spoke with you last time about 10 years ago.
Wow.
And I also came to your home.
Well, there's that weather guy. There's that Aki guy. You came to my home?
Yes, I did.
For what?
We talked on your pool deck while my buddy was installing your pool heater. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember you, but I remember this weather guy here, the Aki guy on CNN. Holy cow, he is cute. Go ahead.
Okay, Neil. By the way, Positano and Sorrento in Italy are wonderful places. You should.
Positano and Sorrento.
Yeah, the Amalfi Coast. Just Google it and you'll see you could rent a villa. I've been there many times. It's just incredible.
I'm on my way right now, as a matter of fact. Sounds good to me. I'll in fact, if I can take off Monday for this big holiday, maybe I'll do it.
But Prague and the other places, like those bohemian places, I don't like them. It's all the same. The architecture's all the same. I really don't like it.
Really?
Yeah,
I had a friend that went to Prague last summer here. I think it was summertime. He said it was beautiful. He said it was like an outdoor museum, all the beautiful buildings and all the historic stuff. He thought it was pretty nifty.
Yeah, but if you close your eyes, you could be in Munich, you could be in a lot of places that looks all the same.
Yeah, well, you know what that reminds me of? It's like the people that go in these museums, or I'll tell you a better example, is in Vegas. You know, see all these new, and I've been in most of them, you know, the Venetian and Paris and all the other ones, and Bellagio. And on the outside, of course, they're all very different. But when you go inside, most of them, no matter how beautiful they are on the outside and how unique they may be outside, when you go inside, they all look the same. Their tables and their slots, and, you know, they all pretty much look the same.
Yeah, well, listen, Neil, just to talk about these people, these homophobes over here, when you go to the south of France like I did, or you go to Italy, you know, you go to the beach, all the girls are topless. Nobody attacks them like the guy said, well, where you look?
Right.
You know? I mean, people are civilized. I mean, I used to watch commercials with my mom in Italy, a broad commercial, and you see the girls' boobies, you know?
Oh, yeah, sure.
No big deal. It's
A lot of nudity on TV in Europe, all over the place.
Here, it's like people freak out on stupidity.
Yeah, because Americans are so sexually repressed, they like to pretend that they're really hip and cool and with it and everything, but sexually, they're like in a stone age.
Ignorance, Neil, ignorance.
Yes, sir.
Nice talking to you, buddy.
Back to you.
Take care.
Yeah, Sorrento. In fact, my close personal friend was in Sorrento and told me in his travelogue. I'll get some information about that. Sounds like one of many places I need to be. In fact, you know something? I wish I was back in Berlin right now. Now that I'm over this cold, I wish I was, feeling really spry, and it was like, it was like the middle of May would be nice, and I was back in Berlin right now, having me a wild, gay time. And then there's a place for you. In fact, before Hitler, back in the 1920s, Berlin was the gay capital of Europe.
I'm sorry.
And
Germany place for me? Was that?
I beg your pardon?
You said that's a place for you.
For me.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, you'd like it there, too. You would love it there. Well, what's not to like? You would absolutely. The food is great, and the people are beautiful, and they're very broad-minded and open-minded, and there's lots to see and lots of stuff. I mean, it all depends. Obviously, you would take your Russian girlfriend if you went when George sends you on your trip.
Yeah.
See, it's really sad. It's unfortunate that, there are a few of us that have all the money, and then you...
Yeah, I can afford to travel, like, in the U.S.
I understand.
But
you can afford to travel maybe to the Palm Beach County line on a good day.
That's it.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Even though I do love you, I'm not sending you on any trips, okay?
No, not one?
No. Maybe to Tampa. Maybe to Burns Steakhouse in Tampa. Maybe I can handle that, take care of that. Huh?
I've been there.
Yeah, it's good. I told you the story about Bern Laxer, the owner who's since died, and the reason he died is because he when I was on the air all those years raving about, because I was doing UM baseball, and we'd go over to Tampa and always go to Burns Steakhouse at least once during the road trip, usually twice. And I got them tons of business, man. I would come back on the air and rave about it, and every time anybody from South Florida went up there, who was a listener of mine, and was in Tampa, they'd go to Burns Steakhouse, and they would say, oh, Neil Rogers told me about your place. And Bern Laxer, the owner, was very nice to me, and one time I was there with a friend, and he said, oh, my goodness, I just want to give you the tour of the place, and he took me down to the kitchen, and he said to me, you have brought me so much business you can't even believe. Everybody from South Florida that comes in here is a listener to your show. He said, but I'm not one of those people who believes in trying to repay kindness with, in other words, he wasn't going to pick up the tab. Not that I cared, but it was just such a cheap-ass thing to do, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, I agree.
I'm not one of those people that tries to repay kindness by picking up your tab, which I just thought was, why even bring it up,
Yeah.
Why bring that up, Bern? Well, he's dead now anyway, because God punished him for not picking up my tab. Shame on you. 11.96 on our pool, and the body wash, 49.6% now for soap. It's coming down. In fact, the guys right now, as they're listening, they're reaching out for the body wash. Maybe something really macho. What's like besides Adidas? What's some other ones?
Axe.
Axe. As in Tim Hardaway would say, let me ask you what you're using.
The biggest names, the best
and where you're putting it.
This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Well, I hate what they're doing on QAM. Putting that faggot back on again. I want what they had before. He's not my kind of guy. What the hell are they doing anyway? It's a manly-sounding guy who's really gay. I want more of Chris Moore, cause his voice is real high. When I listen to the sports, a manly voice won't get my attention. What will really get me stiff in the shorts? A squeaky high voice will give me an erection. Well, I hate what they're doing on QAM. Putting that bracket back on again. I'm gonna miss hearing straight men with voices this high. You fair. Now I'll have to get deeper in the closet again so I can impress all the macho friends. Check out Chris Moore at night to help me pay the side. Yeah, there ain't nothing like having macho sports guys whose voices hasn't cracked since they were 12 years old. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, I stand up real close to the radio and press it on and get their voices on up there. It really makes my balls tingle. And that Crow, man, well, he's smarter than my inbred brother. Yup.
12:02 on a pull. We got our 1200. We can just relax now, take a deep breath. That was the second thing I played in QAM on our first day on the air. That was the second bit I played. You want to know what the first one was?
What?
Goodbye, IOD, the memories are all that's left of a station that once had fame, and for AM that was quite a claim.
Are you sure?
Cox and Paxton were insane. Howard! To blow it all, and when they build those condos and block that tower off, you'll be lowered down into your grave. And you were great at one time, but now you sound more like a signal drifting in the wind. And you'll never see numbers you can sell again. Yet Clear Channel knows what they're doing, or so they think. But no one's listening anymore, because they really stink. Goodbye, IOD, let go of Grego, Scoop the Pooper and the rest of that retarded team that remains of Paxton's old regime. Clear Channel has a scheme, but it's clear to see that despite all their corporate indignance, they can't hide the fact without Neil they got a crappy deal.
Absolutely.
And you were great at one time, but now you sound more like a signal drifting in the wind. And you'll never see numbers you can sell again. No! Yet Clear Channel knows what they're doing, or so they think. But no one's listening anymore, because they really stink.
All the right wings, not chicken wings, but all the right wings you can eat. It's. I wonder if their gay people are buying chicken wings from Timmy Hardaway. Hey, Timmy, I hear he's just a... is what I'm hearing. See, you don't even have to say it yourself. We got it in the thing.
I know.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's something that Josh left us with. Now, let me just say this to you, since we're into this whole homophobia thing and people are so scared, they're looking at each other and guys are holding hands at Disney World. I mean, it just, to me, it's so childish. I'd be embarrassed to actually call in and have somebody hear my voice, recognize my voice, and say such swill on the air. Because people would think I'm such an insecure putz, such a moron, and such a bad parent, by the way, such a schmuck. For example... Now, I haven't been down there in, many months. I don't know when the last time I did a show from there, which it isn't going to happen again. But how long would you say that was?
Oh, a show you did? Oh, God, probably at least, I'd say a year and a half.
Really?
Probably.
Wow. So, in other words, I haven't seen you in a year and a half, okay?
Right.
All right, now, as you know, because there were long interludes, and then every now and then I'd come back and do a show, and like George and I would see each other for the first time in months, and George and I worked together for 16 years, and we'd give each other a hug and yada yada, like that, you know. So if I came down there tomorrow, assuming we were on the air tomorrow, and I saw you, and and we greeted each other, and I gave you a hug,
right?
Would that make you uptight?
No.
No. See, is that like gay, a sexual thing, or what?
No, God no.
So the fact that there were like guys at Disney were walking around with a guy with his arm around another guy, what does that mean? Why is that frightening to people? It's frightening to me that there are people who think that way. That's terrifying to me. Talk about terrorism. That is terrifying to me. That in 2007 in America, in a supposedly enlightened country, but then again, look at your president, you know, like that.
Good point.
Yeah.
Maybe he was afraid he might enjoy seeing the guys doing that.
Yeah, maybe Daddy might get aroused, and the kids would say, "Hey, gee, Daddy, are you just happy to see us, or is that, like that old deal?" Very sad. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
WQAM, yes, sir.
What's up, man?
How you doing, Pally?
Not too bad. Went to Disney World a couple years back. It was Pride Fest 2 there, man. It was the best time I've ever been to Disney World. Very few people, no kids running around.
Great.
There were guys holding hands and stuff, but it wasn't bad.
For them. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it's probably slim pickings when they announce ahead of time, and they do, of course, if you check the calendar. If you're that uptight about stuff, check the calendar. Go online and check Disney, and they'll tell you when they're having whatever it is, you know. 1,209 votes on the poll on the body wash deal. 49.2%. Wow, we might actually get under 49%. That would be quite a feather in your ass, wouldn't it?
Okay.
X-Aid says, Rice, I got a whole bunch of good stuff here, and I'm not getting to it because I'd rather, I like the rambling kind of deal here, especially with you there today. George likes me reading the stories, but you get very uptight because Miguel told you to. No, the thing with Josh is he doesn't care. He'll go with the flow. As long as the time flies by fast and he gets the free food, that's all he cares about.
I already got the free food.
Well, that's good. And then, of course, as some of you will recall, sometimes a little bit too much free food, and as a result, there'd be these long interludes where George would say, oh, he's not in there now. He's,
Well, he timed it today.
Yeah, I timed it pretty good today.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he waited until it was a 4-minute break.
You got to admit, nobody in the world knows how to do that better than me.
I'll give it to you. I don't know how you do it, man.
There have been times when nature was calling, and during a commercial break, I was back with still like a minute to spare. And everybody would say, how the hell do you do that? It was no false alarm, man. I guess a lot of experience. Controversy over a possible missed U.S. opportunity for a rapprochement with Iran. I love that, rapprochement, all those French words, stupid. Grew this week as a former aide accused Secretary of State Condoleezza of misleading Congress on the issue. Flint Leverett, who worked on I think I had this story yesterday, but this is like a little more on it, who worked on the National Security Council when it was headed by Condoleezza, said a proposal vetted by Tehran's most senior leaders was sent to the U.S. in May 2003 and was akin to the 72 U.S. opening to China. Speaking at a conference on Capitol Hill, Leverett said he was confident it was seen by Rice and then Secretary of State Colin Powell, but the administration rejected the overture. Rice's spokesman denied she misled Congress, reiterated that she didn't see the proposal. Liar, liar, your pantaloonies are on fire. And by the way, get the gap in your teeth fixed, you nasty, nasty, hostile bitch. She is really, she's vile. Oh, look at that. Anna Nicole's will is 18 to 19 pages long.
Of course, as you know, he died of an overdose in September, just a few days after his infant sister, was born. And this does tell you in a little bit of detail that all of her assets should be held in a trust by Howard K. Stern for any of her minor or minors until the age of 21, and then a third of it was supposed to go to them, a third of it more at age 25, and at age 30, some of the monies would be split up in additional ways.
How do you like that? The son died, and if he would have just stuck around and not been doing all them drugs and let her, you just know
he would have been loving life.
He would have been loving life. He didn't inherit millions, see? So it wasn't bad enough that he died. He was like 20 years old or something like that, whatever the hell he was. I think it was 20.
Yeah,
but then he missed out on all that cash. She could have had him one wild old time, maybe a old time, not necessarily in the most literal way. I can't wait for the 700 Club with Pat Robertson and Tim Hardaway. With the real bigots, please both stand up.
The biggest names, the best talent. This is Neil Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Friday, you bastards.
Yellow Mason resident John Mason speaking. Hello? 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 Jennifer? What the hell's the matter, honey?
I've been kidnapped.
Are you crying? You sound like you're crying.
I've been kidnapped by aliens.
You've been kidnapped again?
Yes, by aliens.
You've been kidnapped by aliens? Where they done took you?
Albuquerque.
Albuquerque?
Yes.
Is that in America?
Yes.
Where is it?
In New Mexico.
Where?
New Mexico.
Albuquerque is?
Yeah.
I was in Georgia.
No, New Mexico.
Okay. I don't believe you, honey. You don't have to lie to me.
No, I want to get married. I really do. It's just that I was kidnapped by aliens.
Oh, I believe you, honey.
They've got short hair.
They got short hair?
Yes.
Who does?
The aliens have short hair.
When you say short hair, you mean like Ryan Seacrest short?
A little longer than that.
A little longer, like Fabio?
Different doesn't make it shorter hair.
All right, honey, don't yell at me. I believe you. Where are you? Can I pick you up?
I'm at a 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven?
Yes.
Can you get me a Slurpee?
What?
A Slurpee?
What?
A Slurpee?
What?
Like a blueberry one.
What? I just been kidnapped. I can't get you a Slurpee.
All right, I'll get it myself. You really been kidnapped, honey?
Yes, by aliens in a blue van.
Aliens drive a blue van?
Yes.
Like a Chevy van?
No.
Is it a Ford?
No.
Well, what kind of van is it?
What kind of van is it?
Did they do anything to you? Did they probe you?
No.
Poke you?
No.
Prod you?
No.
me, do you?
No.
What?
No, I don't.
But I forgive you.
I don't care.
You can come home.
I'm done.
Come home.
I'm done with you.
I miss you.
Bye-bye.
I love you.
Take care.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Bye.
I love you.
I missed that.
Hey, Josh, love you. Anyway, 26 till 2 at QAM. I play that because Chris, before the show this morning, said he just hasn't heard that in a very long time and he loves it.
Nor have I. So.
Haven't you really? Well, you can never play that too much. And also, Angelina Jolie in the basement. I might have to play that too.
That's a classic.
It is a classic, and it'd be a good way to end the weekend. Like right now, it'd be good. 26 till 2. This business of some people getting off on Monday, I'm not too pleased about that. Although, see, I'm not big on holidays where there's no commerce involved. You know, although they do have President's Day sales all over, don't they?
Yes,
I guess, yeah.
Oh, sure. You see those in the papers, big ads. President's Day sale at, car dealers and furniture joints, stuff like that. But for us, every day is just another day in paradise. And speaking of that, and for the life of me, I have no idea. I told you I lived on 121st Ave in Plantation when they were building the Sawgrass years ago.
Right.
And from my backyard, I could see the progress. I basically watched them build the Sawgrass. There was nothing there at that time. In fact, out by me in West Broward, there in the acres, when I first moved out there, which would be like, about 20 years ago, there was nothing there. There was that Raycal Milgo, which I still to this day don't have any idea what that place is, what that business is. Do you know what it is?
No.
Some kind of a office building. That was there, and not much else. And there was none of those, Best Buy wasn't there, all those strip shopping centers where people get killed when they try to pull out because there's no traffic lights. When are you people in Broward, in Plantation, going to finally get smart and put that extra traffic light in there, you idiots, between 118th and wherever the next one is? You nut jobs. Now, you know where I'm talking about, where Best Buy is?
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Anybody that tries to pull out on Sunrise Boulevard from there and make a left turn is taking their life in their hands. There needs to be a light there. I've been screaming that. I found out there were people killed there. Maybe that's what they want to do, is reduce the population. Get a little crowded out there out west. Simon Property Group, the nation's largest mall operator, said today it will partner with Farallon Capital Management to buy the Mills Corporation for $1.64 billion. And you're wondering, who the hell is the Mills Corporation?
Who dat?
They own the Sawgrass Mills. That's where the name came from. So you got it, Mills? Not the Mills Brothers, not Haley Mills.
Now, is there another Sawgrass Mills mall somewhere?
I don't know that. Well, if you let me do the rest of the story, we'll find that out. We'll probe this thing. We'll probe it, just like they were doing to the Runaway Bride. They were probing her, and they couldn't find any intelligence. The acquisition of Mills will be completed through a cash tender offer of $25.25 per share for all outstanding shares of Mills common stock. Simon & Mills each has a strong presence in South Florida. Simon owns the Town Center Mall in Boca, Boynton Beach Mall, Palm Beach Mall in West Palm Beach, Coral Square in Coral Springs, and Dadeland and Miami International Malls. How do you like that? Miami International Mall.
Incredible.
Mills of Chevy Chase, Maryland owns Sawgrass Mills, the Broward Mall, Westland Mall in Hialeah, and the Falls in Miami. Mills has agreed to terminate. Now, when I was living in Kendall, I always liked the Falls. I thought that was a pretty neat shopping center. Am I right or am I wrong? I mean, that's 100 years ago, but...
Chris, I don't know if I've ever been there.
Chris?
Yes.
You don't like the Falls?
Yeah, no, I mean, actually, I've gotten used to it since the hurricane, but I almost kind of liked it better pre-Hurricane Andrew.
Well, that's a long time ago.
Well, do you remember what it looked like back then?
I don't remember what anything looked like. I barely remember Dadeland, okay?
There was a little bit less shops, but it had, more of, the water area, and there used to be fish swimming around and everything. Now it's just all shops, and they have, this little mini, 2-foot wide stream going through. I mean, it's not bad, but...
Well, when I was there, I liked the Falls 100 years ago. That's like saying when I was in Boston, I liked Prince Spaghetti House. They've only been out of business for 100 years. Mills has agreed to terminate an agreement to be sold to Brookfield Asset Management. Brookfield bid whatever they bid. So that's the Sawgrass is being... And the reason I read that story is not because I really care about who owns it, and probably most of you couldn't care less either. But what's the big simus with it? I've mentioned this a million times, and I still scratch my head and wonder why. I think it's just a commentary on how boring the state of Florida generally is. It's the number 2 tourist attraction in the state behind Disney. I wonder if they have gay days at the Sawgrass. That would be good. Guys holding hands. Because, all the Latin American people at the Sawgrass no speak English aquí.
All the people there don't speak English.
That's what I just said.
Not just Latin America. It's like a tourist attraction for the world.
Yeah, the Sawgrass. It's like an international place where nobody speaks English. But I don't know what the attraction is there. I mean, there's all those outlet stores, and what is the... I don't know. What is the deal there? What's the big tzimmus?
I don't know. By the way, I think that place would give a Woodbine a run for their money for really smelly people.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I see. I mean, I think what we're trying to say is all you foreigners, man, you better, like, butch up a little bit and start using some aftershave, some cologne, and a little douche or something.
Body wash.
A little body wash would be good in the morning, okay? I will guarantee you, I'll bet your life, I said it before, I'll say it again, that people who use body wash are certainly much cleaner and much more antiseptic and smell. And remember when I first was trying to talk you into using it, and you were worried they were going to smell like flowers or, smell like some kind of a pansy? Remember that?
I don't think that was the issue.
That was an issue. That you were saying such ludicrous things, and I kept trying to tell you, you don't walk around with the smell of the body wash. Hopefully, if you have any brains in your head, after you smear it around all over your body, you wash it off in the shower. That's the idea with it. And you people that are still using the soap, it's like taking a bath, okay? I understand if you don't have a shower in your house and you have only a bathtub. That's unfortunate, you know? I mean, how many people don't have a shower anymore, right?
Everybody's got a
There's
shower.
actually people who have only baths and not
well,
showers instead of the other way around?
possibly. I don't know. I have no idea. But, I mean, if that's the case, you can't knock them too much. They got no choice. But anybody that would take a bath and sit in their own filth, that, like I said, it went out with black and white television, for Christ's sakes. It went out with knickers. It went out with the Slinky, although I think Slinky made a comeback, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Slinkies are always popular.
No, Slinkies are fun. Although my problem is I always would bend the metal on them. I would always break them. I was just a devil of a child. Let me tell you about my childhood someday.
Gay.
Someday when you really want to get depressed.
The biggest names, the
Don't
best
forget,
talent.
there's no such thing as love.
Rogers,
It's just a word.
Sports Radio 560.
Okay, Dad.
AM.
Oh, God.
Absolutely. It's 30 a day plus gas.
Well, I rented Lincoln.
Cash or credit.
And I drove up in the hills.
You want the insurance?
And to recall how it happened, well,
good luck.
It still gives me chills.
What a weirdo.
Followed my map of star houses.
Yikes.
And was shocked to see sitting on her front porch was Angelina Jolie. Well, I walked up like I knew her.
Hey, do I know you?
And I saw her hesitate.
Hey!
But the chloroform started working then for her. It was too late. Put her in my car and rolled the windows down. Now she was my queen and I made her a crown.
Take the stupid crown off me!
And I've got Angelina Jolie in my basement.
I'm in the basement!
And I think I'll keep her there with me.
Hello?
And charge her rent.
I'm not paying rent.
Well, I hope she don't mind. I hope that she'll find that she likes the cement.
I'm in the basement!
How wonderful life is with Angelina Jolie in my basement.
Let me out of here!
Well, I'm schizophrenic, polar and manic, but I bet you'd give your last cent.
Help me!
To have Angelina Jolie locked down in your basement.
Come here, Precious!
Don't hurt my dog.
I'll do it, mister!
Don't hurt Precious.
I'll hurt your dog, mister!
It puts the dog in the basket.
147 at QM. We got Mad Dog coming up at 2 o'clock. The Power Hour between 4 and 5 with the Humper and the Mad Dog together. Now, let me ask you, on South Beach.
Yeah.
Okay. I would imagine a punk like you with that hot girlfriend, you probably frequent some of those hot spots in South Beach now and then, even though you're an anti-Dade County guy, no?
Not because it's not okay down there. It's just, it's like really expensive, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
like I said, a schlepper like you can't afford to go to South Beach. But I would imagine with all the people down there, especially the ones with the 80 pounds of jewelry around their neck, that it wouldn't be that uncommon to see two guys walking down this, like, A1A on Collins Avenue, hand in hand.
Are you kidding? They're all over the place.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So what's the big simus about
A
that?
lot of freaky Carlos-looking people out there.
That's another good reason not to go to South Beach.
Yes, it is.
Judge has ordered Stern to appear at Tuesday's hearings about Anna Nicole's body. Any interest?
No.
Maybe even Howard Stern from the radio. Howard, Let's Get Serious will be there. Boy, does she look like a cow in that picture or what, man? I'll tell you, she was like, she was all over the place. She alternately looked good, marginal, and just grotesque, Anna Nicole. I guarantee you she ain't looking too good right now. The judge says he owns the body, by the way. But they are going to finally, they're going to like, formaldehyde, what do they call it? Embalm it. And then they're going to auction it off on eBay. WQAM, hello.
Yeah, Neil, I know what Tim Hardaway's problem is.
Yeah.
In the locker room, nobody ever asked him, my God, is that thing real?
Yeah, I just got through saying that in a different way, but that's pretty weak. 5670560, pound 560. Did I just get through saying
I thought
that?
it was funny. I think
Yeah,
it's just because I've been off the show.
Oh. Yeah, it was okay. I mean, compared to most of, it wasn't as good as the terrorists and the guys that are born terrorists, and also the gay terrorists are the ones I'd really be very concerned about, because they just might blow off something more than a bomb. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I don't want to tell you. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Nick.
Yes, sir.
Would you like to get a message to Joe Z for me?
A message to Joe Z?
I'm going to the race Sunday, and I want to get a message to him.
Yeah, good. Well, call him up at home, okay? We're not operating a message service, okay? He's going to the race on Sunday. He wants to get a message to Joe Zagacki. Likely story, schmuck. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Neil.
Yes.
Your show's so damn boring.
I know. You sound like you're almost in a coma.
I know it's from you.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah,
no extra charge, Pally. No extra charge. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Neil.
Yes.
Yeah, you come on down here in your Corvette. We'll take care of you.
Bad job. You notice how these people, they got no original material. He's doing the guy from Lutz thing, and the other guy's doing somebody else. All stuff that we've had on before. The bridge tender, and then the one that you thought was relatively amusing.
I'm sorry, did you think that they were going to come up with their own material?
No. But they do it so poorly, you know what I'm saying? Bridge Tender Jr., Chronic from Lutz Jr., all these very sad, tragic people. It's just enough to make me want to kiss the ground. I'm going to go outside at 2 o'clock. I'm going to kiss the street, kiss the sidewalk, kiss this. Sun is shining. Sure, it's cold as hell, but who cares? In fact, let's take a look right now so Castronova Monday morning can tell everybody what the temperature was in Toronto on Friday on the Neil Rogers Show. -6. I don't know what that is. It's like maybe 20-something. -6. It's warming up a little bit now. We got a heat wave. It's in the 20s now. And the snow we had the other day, the 4 or 5 inches of snow or whatever was supposed to be, it's mostly gone right now. It's vanishing. So come on up. Come on down. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Can you end the day with the Francisco Ruca call?
With what?
Remember the Francisco Ruca call when you said it was the best show and the girl did the I don't know call?
Right.
Do you have that laying around anywhere?
Francisco Aruca is the best radio show on AM. And what time is he on?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we got.
Okay, thank you. My weekend's better
no
now.
problem.
Thank you.
There you go. Francisco Aruca, you asked and you got it. Boy, I wouldn't have played that again in about 100 years, would I?
No.
We're here to oblige. That's what we're here for. And it killed like about 6 seconds. Francisco Aruca was the best show, and she had no idea what time the show was on, what the station, where on the dial, where to stick it, whatever. I told her where to stick it. 1,252 votes on the poll. You know, I'm telling you, if Josh would have put, although we were ecstatic to have you on the show today. Not happy that George's family is sick and stuff like that, but nevertheless, well-deserved day off for him. And he'll have to work on a holiday on Monday, and so will I. And so will Chris. And so will you.
Yes.
Here's Susan Candiotti again.
Intentionally omitted to provide for my spouse and other heirs, including future spouses and children, and other decedents now living and those who are after born or adopted. So this would appear to throw up into the air.
Yeah, it throws up
since her son Daniel is gone. He is named in here, and since he has died, to whom her assets would fall.
For whom the bell tolls. And wait till Monday when Susan Candiotti is reading my will on the air. That'll be exciting. 12:55. What do you bathe with? I'm male. I use soap 614 down to 48.9%. Good move. Male with body wash 433. I seldom bathe 81. Female with body wash 55. Hate this poll 37. A mere 2.9%. They likes it. And female with soap only 35. So the women are into the body wash more than the guys. And like I said, everybody out there is saying exactly the same thing. That's right. It's a ladies' thing, Neil. When are you going to butch up a little bit and get back to the soap? like lava soap. It's like pumice. It's like scraping your body with a big rock.
The biggest names, the best talent.
Scrape off those
This
dead
is
cells,
Neil
man.
Rogers, Sports Radio 560 QAM.
It's Dave. In Miami town.
You fairy.
At 560 WQAM. All right.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? John Rambo still alive. I want to make movies 4 and 5. My life ain't going great. Planet Hollywood's broke. Unfortunately, I speak like I had a stroke. First blood came in 82. That's when I hurt my penis and it never ever grew. Rambo 2 was in 85 late. Rambo 3 was in 88. Shooting and looting and tooting my gun. I did not make this movie with my son. His name is Sage. He was in Rocky 5 and Daylight, the tunnel movie. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Dennehy. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid. I guess I understand. My whole life is about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. Check it out. So call me up. I really need a script. I can do dialogue or keep it zipped. I like comedy, action, adventure, and drama. The only thing I will not do is have sex with a llama. So give me a break, for goodness sake. I used to be on Oprah. Now I can't get on Ricky Lake. Right now I got a one-man show in Poughkeepsie. Basically, I'm an unemployed gypsy. A little bit of cash is what I need. I gotta get a loan from Apollo Creed. I gotta have another hit movie or a Broadway show like Dennehy. I guess nobody ever saw Copland. It was stupid, so I understand. My whole life's about to cave in. All I got left is Jennifer Flavin. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I need to make Rambo 4 and 5. How are you? Absolutely.
Bye, bye, bye. When it comes to sports,
Blue 89! Blue 89!
we're the authority. Sports Radio 560, WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Mashed potatoes, gravy, and cranberry sauce. Woo!